pagbabalitang tumpak at tama. Buhay Atenista, sa loob sa labas ng eskwela, ating ibibida lahat ng kwela. Radyo, 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 katipunan. Radyo, 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 katipunan. Radyo, katipunan. Kawal ni Ignacio, katipunero sugod, todo sa kayon, tulong at tulog. Lipat na Blue Eagle, galing giting nagigil. Blue and white, one big fight. Radyo, 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 katipunan. Radyo, 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 katipunan. Radyo, katipunan.
Join Cardinal Luis Antonio Tagle as he delivers to us the preachings of the Sunday's Gospel that's awe-inspiring, yet easy to understand and appreciate. Let us all listen to the Word of God here on The Word Exposed on Air, only on radyo-katipunan 87.9 FM. Radyo-katipunan 87.9 FM. Rejoice, refresh, renew, and reflect. Join us for an hour of music that uplifts the soul. Listen to your favorite Jesuit music ministry artists. This is JMM Radio. JMM Radio. Get your day's dose of inspirational music. Tune in to JMM Radio every Wednesday from 1 to 2 p.m. Only here on Radyo Katipunan 87.9 FM. Tara na't simulan ng inyong umaga sa mga magagandang refleksyon tungkol sa ating buhay at pananampalataya. Kasama sina Cardinal Luis Antonio Tagle ng Manila, Father J. Boy Gonzales at Father Nono Alfonso ng Kapisanan ni Jesus, Father Cali Llamado ng Manila Cathedral, at Binibining Risa Singson Kaupeng ng Light of Jesus Community dito sa Kapit Pandasal sa Radyo Katipunan 87.9 FM. The Jesuit Hour. Get to know the Jesuits. Discover their spirituality, their history, their ministries. The Jesuit Hour. Anything Jesuit, everything Jesuit. The Jesuit Hour.
Friends, Romans, countrymen, lend me your ear.
Do you long for a good spiritual read? Or for literature that not only feeds the mind, but nourishes the soul as well? Do you want to be inspired, feel positive and hopeful about life? Then read The Windhover, the official magazine of the Jesuits in the Philippines. Written by Jesuits and their lay partners, The Windhover features real stories about the Jesuits and their various ministries. Be inspired. Be blessed. Subscribe to The Windhover. For inquiries, call the Philippine Jesuit Aid Association at telephone numbers 426-6001, locals 4890 or 4892. Once again, Philippine Jesuit Aid Association, telephone numbers 426-6001, locals 4890 or 4892.
Kaibigan, alam mo na ba kung anong dapat gawin upang iwasan at sugpuin ang COVID-19? Iwasang hawakan ng bibig, mata at ilong. Laging maghugas ng kamay gamit ang sabon at tubig sa loob ng 20 segundo. Linisin ang mga bagay na palaging hinahawakan. Kumain ng balanse at masusustansyang pagkain. Matulog ng sapat, huwag magpupuyat. Stay home. Sa wastong pag-iingat, ang virus hindi kakalat. COVID-19, kayang-kaya nating tapusin.
We are now on YouTube. Watch all of our live episodes plus exclusive content in our channel at Radyo Katipunan FM. Don't forget to click subscribe and hit the bell to get the latest updates. Radyo Katipunan. News, insights, inspiration. Radyo Katipunan. Down from the hill and down to the world. Radyo Katipunan. The voice of the Blue Eagle.
Jescom Music Ministry, your daily dose of inspiration. Follow jescom.ph on Spotify and Jescom Music on YouTube. We are also on iTunes and Deezer.
Palalimin ang kamalayan sa mga isyong napapanahon. Makisangkot at makiisa kasama ang simbahang lingkod ng bayan. Ang Socio-Political Apostolate ng Kapisanan ni Jesus. Ito ang Kwentuhang Bayan mula alas 11 ng umaga tuwing Biyernes dito lang sa Radyo Katipunan 87.9 FM. Dahil naniniwala kami na posible ang isang mas mabuting lipunan at maaari itong simulan sa isang kwentuhan.
Get your daily dose of inspiration through our music. Follow Jescom.ph on Spotify and Jescom Music in YouTube.
Radyo Katipunan 87.9 FM.
The fire we reported at the old fire hall is still burning out.
Do you sometimes feel confused or lost in the complications and complexities of life? Do you feel drained, listless, or exhausted from the daily burdens and responsibilities? Why not seek our campus ministers on air every Tuesday from 2 to 3 in the afternoon? Listen to our counselors from the Loyola School's Campus Ministry Office as they ground our lives in our faith, in our school's spiritual tradition. Campus Ministers on Air. Be guided, be inspired, be blessed. Listen to our Campus Ministers on Air. Radyo Katipunan 87.9 FM. We are now on YouTube. Watch all of our live episodes plus exclusive content in our channel at Radyo Katipunan FM. Don't forget to click subscribe and hit the bell to get the latest updates.
Radyo, 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 Katipunan, radyo, Katipunan, radyo, Katipunan, radyo, 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 Katipunan, radyo, Katipunan. The voice of the Blue Eagle, kami di mapipigil sa pagbabalitang tumpak at tama. Buhay Atenista, sa loob sa labas ng eskwela, ating ibibida lahat ng eskwela. Radyo, radyo, Katipunan, radyo, radyo, Katipunan, radyo, Katipunan, Katipunan. Kawal ni Ignacio, Katipunero, sugo, todo sa kayod, tulong at tulong. Lipad na Blue Eagle, galing hiding at tigil, blue and white, one big fight. Radyo, 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 Katipunan, radyo, 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 Katipunan, radyo, Katipunan, radyo, Katipunan.
All caps, mga Atenista! It's time to level up! Your top variety program showcasing the best in media and other fields. As we feature the most loved personalities and the best practices of what we truly refer to as Magis. Together with multi-awarded multimedia guru Mr. Noel Ferrer, let's all level up every Fridays from 3 to 6 p.m. here on Radyo-Katipunan 87.9 FM.
Okay, all good, all ready, all the best. Today, as always, we shall level up in terms of relevance and goodwill as we talk to the men of the hour. So marami silang kakausapin natin. Pero we'll really spend most of his time, at least quality time. So people have given us clear answers in the past. Kaya siya yung gusto nating kausapin kung meron man tayong gustong tanungin. Somehow good reflection and guidance in the way we conduct our lives. First up, okay, IATF co-chair, my former student who has become family to me too. So, Cabinet Secretary Karlo Nograles. Karlo, good afternoon. Alam ko magmamadali ka kasi you have a lot of other commitments. Kumusta ka sa MECQ?
Hi, magandang hapon sa iyo, Sir Noel, at magandang hapon sa lahat ng mga nakikinig ngayon, lalo-lalo na yung mga Atenista dyan. Good afternoon to everyone.
Ang tanong nila, Karlo, kasi yan, we trust your voice. At ikaw yung voice of calm, reason, of being collected, and may wisdom naman. So, hindi nasahan ng mga tao yung MECQ. You know why? Because we were all prepared. No? If there was any moment na pwede kayong mag-declare na extension ng ECQ, it was this moment. Why? Because hanggang umaabot ng 15,000, di ba? Yung ating COVID positivity rate, yung cases. What made you decide to go to MECQ?
Well, unang-una, it was a lengthy debate, no? And syempre may mga pros and cons yan. But just to cut a long story short, nakita or napagdesisyonan namin na una sa lahat, it might be better to tweak the strategy a bit instead of locking down the entire NCR under ECQ na parang blanket enhanced community quarantine. What we wanted to do is do more granular targeted lockdowns. And you can only do that if you go to a lighter level of community quarantine. So we went to MECQ para to give emphasis na yung mga dapat lang talaga ma-localized lockdown, yun lang ila-lockdown. Kasi
it's happening now, no? It's happening now. Maraming granular lockdowns sa different cities. And you're doing it. Ang sinabi daw kasi parang preemptive ECQ naman yung ginawa natin, di ba?
Oo, correct. Because dumating yung Delta variant. So,
correct.
Parang ang nangyari, ang strategy na nangyari, dahil sa Delta variant, nag-ECQ tayo kung saan mataas ang bilang ng mga Delta variants, no?
Mm-hmm.
So, ECQ para tigil lahat. Pero bago man nagkaroon ng ECQ, the local government units were already doing localized lockdowns.
Yes.
Pero pag nag-ECQ ka across the board, parang nilocalized lockdown mo yung buong NCR.
Mm-hmm.
So, ang decision point was ipagpatuloy ba natin ito or na kung saan yung economy natin virtually stops, no? Affected ang buong ekonomiya, or do we go to a lighter level of community quarantine, still strict but not as strict as an ECQ, and then just allow the LGUs to do localized lockdown. So, after a lengthy debate, nagkaroon nga ng decision na, sige, mag-MECQ na lang tayo, and then just let the LGUs do the localized lockdown, which is actually an ECQ, but now granular level, means to say it's either street level, purok level, barangay level, or a series of barangays where the cases are highest. That way, hindi naapektuhan yung buong ekonomiya natin, and hindi nadadamay yung mga areas na wala namang clustering of cases. So you only lock down areas na may clustering of cases.
No, I understand that. Kasi ang sabi daw, this is more an economic move.
Yes.
Because yun nga, we're losing about 150 billion a week if we lock down. Parang ganun daw. No? So ang isang sabi naman ng mga tao, it's also a rationalization kung hindi ka na makakapagbigay ng ayuda. Kasi pag 'di ba ECQ talaga expected yung ayuda, no? So ang tanong ko lang, pag granular lockdown ba, Carlo, yung ganung yung hard lockdown, may ayuda yung mga tao?
Yes, actually pag mag-ECQ ka, syempre dahil halos everybody, kasi halos 75% sabihin natin, no, roughly, ang hindi nakakapagtrabaho, then necessarily government has to shell out something. But according kasi to our economists, kung sabihin natin 115 B ang affected, tapos ang ibibigay mo lamang is not even 10% worth of ayuda, di mo? Kasi magkano ba yung ayuda na pinamahagi natin?
4,000.
No, then it's 1,000 per
1,000
per
per
person, and maximum of 4,000 per family, di ba?
Yes.
But ang katumbas naman yan ay hindi nakakapagtrabaho, no? Ang 75%, sabihin natin, no? 60 to 75%. Then when you say kasi economy, it's not just a matter of numbers, no? You have to look at the lives and livelihoods. Mga kababayan talaga natin na karamihan ay hindi makakapagtrabaho pag sarado rin yung ekonomiya. That being said, although naka-MECQ tayo, we also identified areas na maaaring maging super spreader events, no? So unfortunately,
at yun yung wala pa ring trabaho, di ba? So dine in ng alfresco, kahit alfresco, no? Yeah.
Yeah, yun plus yung beauty parlor, spas, and personal care services. That was also medyo mahababang debate rin yun.
So ano yung pinayagan nyo? Ano na yung pinayagan nyo, Carlo? Ano yung pwede? Kasi ang sinabi, for some, na kailangan mong explain, no? Parang for some people, ang tingin lang nila, para rin naman palang ECQ kasi wala ring alfresco dining, wala ring personal services. So parang ang kaibahan lang daw, wala lang ayuda. Kasi pero ano yung pinayagan ninyo?
Okay, so based here the chart, no, that I'm holding right now. So yung mga difference nito is like for instance mga
transportation, for example. Clinics, go.
You know transportation, we already allowed naman transportation. It's different from the first ECQ na nangyari, no? After that, transportation, wala tayong problema. It's just the capacity lang, no? But in terms of the business establishments that we've allowed, no? For instance, clinics, medical clinics, from skeleton, naging 100%. From veterinary clinics, from skeleton to 100%. Banks, pawn shops, money transfer functions, microfinance, from skeleton to 100%. Capital markets, from skeleton to 100%. Water supply, janitorial, sanitation services, and facilities, from skeleton to 100%. Energy sector, from skeleton to 100%. Telecoms, skeleton to 100%. Airlines, skeleton to 100%. Funeral and embalming services, skeleton to 100%. Printing, skeleton to 100%. No? So, repair, maintenance, skeleton to 100%.
Hardware,
leasing, skeleton to 100%. Yeah. Teachers, professors, skeleton to 100%. Lawyers, law offices, skeleton to 100%. Processing of payrolls, from skeleton to 100%. Other manufacturing, from 0 to 50%. Non-essential trade, retail, service establishments, from 0 to 50%. And so on and so forth. No, so DTI has a list of all of these. So basically, what you will see is
open.
Sorry?
Casinos are open, Carlo?
I don't know. I'll have to go through the list.
Yeah, kasi yun yung parang sila ba bukas o hindi? Income generating?
Siguro the person, the office to ask there would be PAGCOR, but I'm not really too sure what the kasi it's PAGCOR that really regulates all of these gaming
Correct.
Gaming.
And then pagbabiyahe, because a lot of us are concerned yung lalabas ng bansa. Ano yung rule ngayong MECQ? Sorry, alam ko pa ulit na yung mga rules.
No. So right now, we had this discussion din sa IATF. At least for this the time being, no, dito sa NCR, from now until August 31, we will still not allow non-essential travel outside of NCR. No, because anyway, that's just 10 days. 10 days lang naman yan. So there was a discussion about yung sa point-to-point travel, yung mga or tourism going out to GCQ and MGCQ areas, diba, coming from NCR. So right now, it's still status quo. Unless we say so, unless we open it up, it's still status quo. So maybe we'll talk about it again sa next IATF meeting. But because nga we're trying to do it in a calculated manner para hindi naman agad bumukas at lumuwag, especially with the Delta variant still around. Kaya pinagpaliban muna namin yung decision on non-essential travel coming out of NCR.
Okay. Another question is that kailangan ba ng quarantine passes pagpasok ng mga establishments or yun? Or kahapon kasi nakita natin nanguhuli sila pag walang quarantine pass.
Well, actually, yung quarantine pass, that's just really a initiative ng mga local government units so that it's easier for them to check if you're an APOR, basically, di ba? So it's just a mechanism, basically. Pero whether ano naman community quarantine classification, pag APOR ka, then you're allowed to go out for accessing essential goods and services. And if it's work-related. But because we've already increased the capacities of some establishments, then necessarily yung mga dating skeleton workforce now is 100% or 50%, then you're allowed now to go back to work depending on the establishment din. So mas dumami lang yung APOR mo. Because dati, ang APOR lamang, kasi kung
yung
ECQ,
may hawak ng pass.
No? Because ang kumbaga pag ECQ kasi ang general rule is walang lalabas unless nasa exempted, no, which is konti lang na mga offices na inaalaw natin magbukas, and some nga is just skeleton work, for some is just 50%. So parang kumbaga the general rule is nobody can go out unless exempted ka. And that means because of work or you're accessing essential services. So madali for the LGUs to give out those quarantine passes, diba? But right now, since you're on MECQ, mas marami na ngayon ang papayagan lumabas for work because na dumami na yung pwede nang magtrabaho.
Correct. Pero ngayon, are you really ramping up vaccination? Kasi Karlo dun niya talaga kailangan. So tell us about that
talaga natin, sir, is by end of August, our target was dapat 50% ng NCR fully vaccinated. Now we're now at 41 point something percent. In fact, I would probably say 42 na nga tayo by today. 42%. So we're well on our way to 50%. And in fact, some cities nga in NCR are already 70+%, no? Like the smaller ones, San Juan, no? Even probably maybe Pateros might be on its way to 70%. The smaller ones, syempre mas madali for them to reach that, no? But ang average for Metro Manila, NCR, is 42%. And well on our way tayo sa 50% of all residents in NCR getting fully vaccinated.
Very good. Kasi yun now, sinasabi yung people protection ba natin 50% yung hahabulin?
Yeah, that's the population protection na sinasabi. 50%.
Yun nga, yun. 50% by when, Karlo, sa tingin mo?
End of August. 50%. For NCR, I'm just talking about NCR.
Yes. Mukhang kaya naman because of the vaccines coming, no? Meron naman.
Yeah, dumating yung 3 million from Sinovac, and then may bagong dumating na AstraZeneca. Before that, may mga dumating from Pfizer. And ang promise ng Sinovac is that they would, basta for the month of August, 10 million ang ide-deliver nila. So I think we're already 4 million ang ina-expect pa natin sa Sinovac. Then Sinopharm, we're also expecting 1 million from Sinopharm. So walang problema sa vaccine supply.
Sana naman, Karlo, kasi I was vaccinated ng Sinovac, and then kailangan pang unahin pa yung ibang hindi nag-first jab. Kasi yun nga, parang we're looking for booster shots already. Pero totoo ba tong sinabi na our vaccine czar, si Secretary Galvez, says that we will now focus on acquiring more Pfizer and Moderna instead of Sinovac in the next purchase for mga vaccines? Kasi nga, parang after 6 months, nag-wane na yung and hindi ready nga para sagupain yung mga bagong variants.
Yeah, if that's if that's the official stand of Secretary Charlie, of course we'll support him, no, because he's the one heading the vaccine cluster.
Yes.
But I think it's been shown that number one, we have a good relationship with Pfizer, no, and Moderna, in the sense na yung mga in-order natin sa kanila, they've been delivering naman, no. So and we had we just recently finalized that supply agreement with Pfizer. That's why you're seeing a lot more Pfizer vaccines coming into the country. So parang wala na yung doubt or yung speculation na baka pakonti-konti lang ibibigay ng Pfizer sa atin because there's a race to the vaccines, di ba?
That's true.
Sa vaccine supply. But now they've been kumbaga, they've been sa vaccine na pinapadala nila, they've been actually sending, kumbaga, the vaccines that we've ordered.
But can we access that already to the private sector? Kasi it's one thing burdening the government in like giving us that, but for people wanting to have booster shots of Pfizer or Moderna, kaya ba, or because of the tripartite agreement, ano pa rin, it's still really through government?
Well, yung sa Pfizer, I think the limitation is, I don't know kung nag-change na sila ng policy, but Pfizer, I don't know if they will agree to a tripartite agreement. Ang alam ko lang nagpumapayag sa tripartite agreement is AstraZeneca and Moderna.
Okay.
But
so,
Pfizer, I don't know if they changed their policy.
So Pfizer can be accessed through government lang, bale?
Yes, government or the COVAX facility. But for tripartite, I've not seen anyone who's finalized tripartite agreement with Pfizer. Baka Moderna pa at AstraZeneca.
Tama ka. Kasi from friends, with Moderna na private companies yung nagbibigay nun. So, ibig sabihin, kunyari, kukunin yung booster, pero yun nga, hindi pa rin yung authorizing booster shots. Wala pa
tayong policy. Wala pa tayong policy guidance on booster shots. Not in the Philippines, and WHO actually hasn't issued any policy guidelines on booster shots yet. I think the call of the time right now, at least for the Philippines and many developing countries, is to get everybody fully vaccinated first. With regard to booster shots, wala pa kaming nakitang policy guidance on that.
Pero how soon can you have a coordinated list of all the vaccinated people? Kasi nga, we hear of stories of people having booster shots already now without being reported. Di ba? Parang ngayon, is there a way to like monitor all these people getting vaccinated, lalo na pag private sector?
Well, number one, meron tayong sistema na ila-launch ng DIC on Wednesday. It's called the VaxCert.ph. So that's the digital vaccination card with QR code that everybody who gets a vaccine will actually have that VaxCert. So that's a
pabilisan mo na, Karlo, kaya mo yan. Diktahan mo na sila, pabilisan nila kamo.
Sa September, they'll be launching it already. That's number one. No? Number two, yung mga LGUs are currently, we're now coordinating with the different LGUs to come out with their own ordinances to punish those who misrepresent themselves as not having been vaccinated at all. Pero yung gusto pala nila mangyari, magkaroon sila ng booster shot. So Quezon City was one of the first ones to pass an ordinance na pinagbabawal yung ganyang klaseng misrepresentation, no? And we are coordinating now through DILG with the different LGUs to also come up with that type of ordinance. Yung those punishing those that jump the line or those that misrepresent themselves na kunyari hindi pa sila nagkaka-vaccine para lamang makapasok sila sa queue and get shot. Pero ang totoo niyan, naka 2 doses na sila and they just want a booster shot. So, and we have to work on this very quickly because we don't want other people to get, to have funny ideas and doing all of these things. Because the danger here is maka-crowd out mo yung mga wala pa nakapagpabakuna ng kahit first dose. And yun ang priority natin.
Tama naman yun. Pero may sanction ba kay Congresswoman Zamora? Dahil siya mismo yung nag-admit, di ba, na because of the recommendation of his doctors, was there any sanction man lang na, okay, siya yung nagsabi na naka-4 na jabs na siya?
I will leave it to
I know. Kasi siya yung nagiging example ngayon na tipong, uy, siya hindi naparusahan, pero yung ibang mga tao, kawawa, napaparusahan. Yun yung isa sa doon. Pero kailangan talaga, Karlo, yun, isa siguro sa gagawin mo, ang kulit yan talaga yung talagang coordinated or a master list ng lahat ng mga vaccinated people. Next pa, testing and tracing, Karlo, kasi yan yung talagang importante, no? Parang for us to really get the numbers, the right numbers, dapat i-ramp up din yung testing, but it seems like our testing is really not ganon, hindi pa ganon kataas. Lalo na yung tracing kasi may problema tayo sa mga tracers masyado. Yung budget, no? Kaya kare-renew lang at yon mga ganong allocation. Paano natin ma-ramp up yon din?
Antigen testing. So you have 2 types of testing, di ba? Yung RT-PCR and the rapid antigen, no? Kasi yung rapid test kit na blood, yung pag-prick, hindi na masyado ginagamit.
Wala na yun, di ba? Yeah.
Pero mas, in terms of accuracy, the gold standard is really RT-PCR. But because of the number of cases right now, and especially with the Delta variant, we've actually already, matagal na, we've already agreed to antigen testing being used by LGUs, especially when there is clustering. So lalo na ngayon.
That's part of the report? Does a total number of COVID cases, yung antigen? Hindi pa rin?
No, hindi pa rin. Because yung antigen testing is actually being used by LGUs for the purpose of quickly isolating those who get positive sa antigen test. So basically, parang ganito yung setup, no? Mag-localize lockdown ka, and then the localized lockdown, kunyari, lockdown mo na yung street, kailangan mabilis yung testing mo dyan. So ang gagamitin mo doon, antigen. Because the reason why you lock down a street or a purok is because may clustering of cases na doon. Nakita mo, no? And then, so you lock it down through a localized lockdown, you do testing, ang pinakamabilis dyan is antigen testing. Para kung sino man yung mga positive and symptomatic, i-isolate mo na para hindi magkahawaan doon sa street na yon. That's the protocol. Now, the question is, yung mga nadetect ba na positive dyan, will it be immediately ba na ililist yun sa mga positives? No, because the current protocol now is RT-PCR. So what some LGUs do is they get a confirmatory test. Although i-isolate na nila yon, naka-isolate na kasi quick isolation yun eh. Pag positive sa antigen, quick isolation. Pag isolate mo, you can do a confirmatory test. Pag nag-RT-PCR positive, then sasama na siya dun sa list ng mga positives. Paano yung LGUs na do not do a confirmatory test? So now DOH is now currently doing a protocol na baka mag-separate list sila for the antigen positives.
Okay. Na pwedeng idagdag, no? Or parang pag-confirm na doon madadagdag.
Siguro. I don't know kasi ayokong pangunahan ng DOH kung ano maging protocol nila, no? Because the option is it's just a separate list. Subject to an RT-PCR confirmatory test or whatever, saka mo ipapasok. So it could remain to be a separate list altogether just for transparency. So I don't know yet. No, I have not seen the protocol.
Okay naman yon. Pero ngayon ba wala na talagang provision for a home quarantine? Di ba dati nung wala pang Delta, that's what happened to me, no? pwede ka pang mag-home quarantine basta it fits yung may sarili kang banyo, mag-isa ka lang, wala kang interaction with other family members. Ngayon, pinapayagan niyo pa ba or really dinadala na sa mga facilities?
I think the preference right now is to bring to the facility. So, ang general rule, I think, would be to isolate in a facility.
Yes.
And the exception will be if you can prove na you can isolate at home.
Yes.
So parang binaliktad mo lang yung dati kasi na pwede mag-home quarantine except if hindi kaya, no? So parang binaliktad mo lang. General rule is kailangan isolate and quarantine separately except if you can prove.
How about kids now, Karlo? I'm sure you're also concerned with your kids. Kasi ngayon, di ba, dumadami yung mga batang nagkaka-COVID.
Yeah,
so how do we take care of them?
Monitor namin ngayon, no, yung pediatric cases kung tawagin. Yeah. So, yes, we're noticing an increase. It's not an alarming increase, but it's an increase nonetheless that we're seeing in different hospitals of pediatric cases. So, that just goes to show na baka itong ang Delta variant is mas nakakahawa talaga siya ng mga bata. No, so we're
studying vaccination for them already. O parang isang option na pinag-aaralan nyo?
Yes, the different vaccine manufacturers are now current. Some vaccine manufacturers are currently going through the FDA process para maging rin sila para payagan din sila ng FDA for pediatric for children 17 years old and below. So you have to go through the whole process of getting approval from the FDA. So some have submitted already their documents. I know Pfizer, I know Sinovac is asking for approval ng FDA so that they can administer to children 17 years old and below. I suspect if ever we get to that phase in our battle against COVID, sa vaccinating pediatric or children 17 years old and below, that will probably be next year na.
Correct. Pero gano'n, concern ho yan ni Karlo kasi responsableng ama siya at alam nating isang pamilyadong tao na yun yung concern talaga ng mga magulang ngayon. But last, Karlo, about tracing, I know ito yating dapat mong seryosohin kasi sabi ng ibang mga tao, oo, madaling maging prente pag nandyan yung vaccination kasi bida ka dyan or ayuda nandyan yung mga mayors, di ba? Pero sa tracing hindi nakikita pero importante to. So how can we tell the people na seryosohin yung tracing? Is there a parang yun nga kung common file for all the vaccinated people? Yung sa tracing ba nagkaroon na rin ng format na sa ayos na kasi ngayon parang kailangan yun talaga testing and tracing talaga na effective yung kailangan. At ikaw yung tututok yan kasi ME major ka. May sistema ka sigurong pwedeng i-offer.
Ang pinakamabilis na paraan really for force multiplier sa contact tracing is to really utilize the barangay system, no?
Yes.
Lahat ng barangay may mga barangay police, lahat ng barangay may mga barangay health workers. So that's really the fastest way, no, of multiplying the contact tracers. And I think that should be the key, to empower the barangay workers to also effectively do contact tracing. And some LGUs have actually done that already, no. But I think it should be something that we have to keep pushing more, no.
Yung weakest link daw yun yung weakest link natin talaga.
Pag-hire din ng mga additional contact tracers. And the digital contact tracing system natin, which it's a back and forth, could be better. So continue to work on that. We've actually, ang nakatutok kasi dyan is really DILG.
Yes.
So there are some challenges with this whole contact tracing
system, no? Yeah. Pero ang maganda lang, nakita natin na yung 5 cities, kunyari Pasig, Mandaluyong, Taytay, etc., na kaya nila, yung Valenzuela, etc., na kaya nila. Sana magawa yon on a wider scale. But you're our eyes and voice there, and ears there, Karlo. I won't ask you about politics.
No,
but thank you for explaining this, explaining all of these now. And then, yes, it's a bitter pill to swallow, but yes, MECQ's here. Pero yun, sabi niya, it is not a time to be lax, no? So your final reminder for those people listening to you now.
Yeah, well, thanks again, Sir Noel, for the opportunity. No, I guess the reminders lang natin is that, well, number one, we continue to fight this pandemic, and the best way to do it really is a long-term solution. Medium to long-term solution would be the vaccines. No, so we continue to encourage people to get vaccinated. We continue to, and when we ask for everyone's support, no, to convince those who are not yet convinced to get vaccinated, and to get vaccinated immediately. But for everyone, whether you're fully vaccinated or not fully vaccinated or not vaccinated at all, let's continue to just practice the minimum public health standards, the hugas kamay, social distancing, wearing the face mask and face shield. And all the experts and the scientists have shown us na the best way for us to drive down the cases really is not just simply the lockdowns. No, let's not be tempted into thinking that it's lockdowns is the key. The key really is minimum compliance to the minimum public health standards, meaning to say everybody has to do their part, not to get infected, to be responsible. And number two, we have to be very fast from detection and isolation. Dapat mabilis yung detection to isolation natin para hindi magkahawaan sa community. And we need everyone's support. If people start hiding their symptoms, if people are not honest, if people don't get tested and checked when they have symptoms, if people don't isolate, then we'll have a problem. So we're all in this together, really. So we need everyone's help.
Last honest question from your friend now. I vaccinated ng Sinovac, malapit nang matapos in 6 months. Yun, well, medyo may moral question yung social sin din, yung pagkuha ng booster shot. Karlo, kailan lalabas yung resulta ng ivermectin study? I know a lot of our peers and friends
it's currently being studied by DOST, and it's gonna take really six months. Mga 6 months minimum yan to get the studies out.
But you know of our common friends, no, who are
I have to take this call na, Sir Noel.
Okay, sorry. Okay, I was gonna ask, will you allow me to take ivermectin, or are you on ivermectin, Karlo?
No, I don't use ivermectin. I use I take virgin coconut oil. At least yun, meron ng clinical studies.
Sige. Yes. Thank you very much. I won't bug you anymore. But thank you rin kay Marga. Say hello to Marga and the family. Thank you very much, Karlo.
Stay safe. God bless. Thank you.
Salamat. So that is it. That's Karlo Nograles explaining to us the MECQ situation that we have now. Well, before we talk to our next guest, here's a teaser of what's going to happen tomorrow. Ipapalabas na naman po ang isang napakagandang pelikula na yon. Hindi lang siya senator, hindi lang siya magaling na, medaled person na nag-graduate ng Ateneo, pero isa rin siyang naging aktor sa pelikulang ito. So, we'll roll the teaser and then we'll talk to Senator Bam Aquino.
He wanted to prolong his stay in Malacanang sapagkat napakasarap.
They brought me to a mountain hideout in the Sierra Madre and placed me in a box. There was nothing in the room, barely nothing. And I had nothing to do but twiddle my thumb. And for the first time in my life, I heard the ticking of every second, and I was counting every second into minutes. And as the minutes marched into hours, and the hours into days, and days into weeks, I knew what loneliness meant.
Ito, the last journey of Ninoy. Senator Bam Aquino. Bam, what's happening tomorrow?
Hello and good afternoon, Noel. Actually, hindi ako best actor dyan. Best available actor lang back in 2009.
Pero ikaw naman yung kamukha talaga. Aminin naman natin.
I think that was 90% the criteria and then 1% yung acting talent. No? So I was only, I think, 31 when I played my uncle. I'm actually his age now in that movie.
Galing.
No? So a lot of the clips.
gaano kahalagang balikan yung buhay niya, lalo na ngayon, Bam. Sabi mo, maganda nga yun, na lockdown din si Ninoy, pero lumaban siya.
Exactly. Alam mo, yung katapangan niya, yung pagsasalita niya laban sa diktadurya, watching it again in today's lens, no? Parang it's refreshed, parang bago na naman yung pinapanood natin. When he talks about the Filipino people, do the Filipino people love their slavery and their tyrant? No, it takes on a different meaning in 2021. Kaya sana po samahan nyo kami sa pagpanood ng 500 para kay Ninoy. No, 500, Noel, because there will be 500 Facebook pages and accounts that will be simulcast broadcasting the last journey of Ninoy, showing starting at 5 p.m. The primary Facebook account will be the Kaya Natin Facebook page. At 5 p.m. then at 6 p.m. meron pong panel discussion tungkol din po dito.
Very good. Kasi kailangan buhayin talaga yan, Bam, because we're in very similar times. No? Parang yun yung ano. Now that we're on MECQ again, Bam, katatapos lang yung interview with Karlo, ano yung naramdaman mo? Kasi parang people were really expecting na, uy, okay lang at justify the extend yung ECQ, lalo na halos 15,000 yung mga cases natin a day. Were you surprised with the call?
No, hindi naman ako na-surpresa, Noel, kasi alam mo, every time nagkaka-lockdown, in a previous interview, the interviewer was saying, we're also tired of this lockdown, no? But I said, hindi lang tayo tired of the lockdown. Pag may lockdown, marami sa mga kababayan natin walang nauuwi sa kanilang pamilya, no? Maraming hindi nakakakain. So it's not about I'm tired, I'm not tired. Every time there's a lockdown, people go hungry, no? May mga kababayan tayo nangangamba sila for their families. So lockdown should only be done at the most grave situation, no? Yung pinakagrabing sitwasyon. And probably itong nakaraang lockdown dahil sa Delta variant, naging justified yan, no? Pero Noel, this is not our first month in a lockdown, in a pandemic. This is our 18th month. Dapat by now, alam na natin kung paano i-handle yung pagdagsaan ng mga cases natin. Alam na dapat natin how we should have increased our hospital capacity, how we should have kept our nurses in the Philippines, how we should have prepositioned the ayuda, kung paano pwedeng ibigay yung ayuda maybe in a more high-tech way na hindi na kailangan magbigay ng mga relief goods na napakahirap i-distribute. We should have learned already in the last 18 months. And I think yun yung frustration ng mga tao pagdating sa sitwasyon natin. On one hand, you agree, yes, kailangan siguro mag-lockdown dahil sa Delta variant, but on the other hand, iniisip mo rin, 18 months na tayo dito, no, nandito pa rin tayo. Dapat nakapag-improve na tayo. No? The countries around us have vastly improved their systems and their capacity to handle the pandemic. No? So I think doon nanggagaling yung frustration ng mga tao. And since more or less naka-lockdown pa rin naman tayo bukas, sana po panoorin nyo lang po itong movie po ni Tito Ninoy. We thought of a tagline, Noel, no, na lockdown pero lumaban, because many people don't realize he was in jail for 7 years and 7 months and in exile for 3 years bago siya umuwi at pinatay. No? So here was a person na almost a decade siyang parang naka-lockdown yung pakiramdam niya. No? Hindi niya magawa yung gusto niyang gawin. And yet nahanap niya sa sarili niya yung katapangan to come back home at makiisa sa atin dito. No? So I hope our listeners get to check it out sa Kaya Natin Facebook page po.
What resonated with me, Bam, was when your Tita Ninoy was saying, parang the Filipinos seem to love their slavery. Don't you feel it? Well, it is so at this point, and people are just so resilient. Overused yung term, no? And then we lack that parang drive to like demand for accountability from public officials. So, kunyari, well, syempre napapanood mo yung mga hearings. At yun, kung senador ka pa ngayon, ano yung pwede mong itanong, kunyari, sa DOH and they're handling the COVID situation?
Noel, matagal, to be fair to the Senate, matagal din nilang hiningi yung resignation ni Secretary Duque. And that was a cross-party effort, no, kung di ako nagkakamali. So, ngayon na nasa crisis tayo, we need the best people at the helm of this pandemic. Kailangan natin yung pinakamagagaling, pinaka-maatupag, pinaka-na-focus. It's very frustrating talaga, honestly, no. And again, this is the 18th month na ba? Or mag-18 months na yata tayo, or more than a year na tayo dito. By now, dapat natuto na tayo how to be able to handle this. Much like how other countries have done, gaya ng mga karatig bansa natin, no. So, it's
Bam? Learned helplessness? Lord helplessness among our people, or iba ba yung nasa ground, parang brewing lang ba? Pero parang yung mga tao, sige, tanggap na lang. Pero
alam mo, Noel, mahirap talaga yung sitwasyon ngayon. It's very difficult for everybody. Lahat naghahanap ng paraan para makasurvive, no? I'll be honest with you na ganun yung pakiramdam ng maraming tao. Pero pakiramdam ko rin, by now, nagising na sila na alam na nila na kailangan natin ng pagbabago pagdating sa susunod na eleksyon. Maybe not necessarily na like obviously wala na magrarally ngayon kasi nasa pandemic tayo, 'di ba? Maybe they will protest on their keyboards or on their phones, no? Kasi yun na yung pinaka mainam na paraan para magprotesta ngayon. But I really feel na more of our countrymen now, and especially because of the internet, dahil nakikita nila yung nangyayari sa buong mundo at may mga relatives sila sa ibang bansa, no? Nakikita nila na hindi na kaya itong nangyayari sa atin. Kailangan na natin talaga ng pagbabago, and hopefully, no, yung again, babalik ko lang dun sa last journey, yung katapangan na pinakita ni Tito Ninoy, sana kahit papaano makita rin natin yon sa ating mga sarili, no? Mahanap natin yon ulit sa ating mga sarili at lumabas ulit yung kagustuhan ng mga Pilipino to demand more, no, for our country and for our children.
Very good. No, ibalik na natin yung katapangan na team na yan. Nakikita natin yun sa COA na nag-flag ng napakarami, di ba? Yung parang pagpapa-explain sa mga offices kung paano nila ginamit yung pondo ng mga tao.
Noel, can I say something about COA very quickly?
Go.
The last time nagkaroon ng major expose ang COA, that became the Napoles hearings, and that became the incarceration of senators and so many other individuals. Kumbaga, the last time nagkaroon ng ganong katinding expose ang COA, that was in the previous administration, and yung buong Pilipinas nagkagulo. No, we had the 1 million person march. I was a young senator at that time, no? Medyo nagkakagulo yung Pilipinas. We had those very difficult hearings to talk about the corruption that was happening in the legislative branch and the executive branch, and nagkaroon ng mga paghuli sa mga malalaking tao nung panahong yon. That was what happened. Hindi sinabi, kalimutan mo na yung report na yan during that time, even though it was very, very difficult and very, very, talagang tense, no? Sobrang tense nung mga panahong yon. Pero we went through the difficult process, and in the end, merong mga nakulong. Of course, marami sa kanila napawalang sala na ngayon, no? But at that time, narespeto yung COA report na yon at kinilatis talaga siya, no? Hindi siya inisan tabi.
So how should the COA reports be met? Parang ako kasi parang kilabutan ka kasi parang yung ibang mga tao hindi yan yung epekto, parang ganun na agad, na dismiss na agad, no? So at ang dami pang ibang mga offices, and now we just got a report about PTV4, no, na yung hindi nag-daily time record yung mga tao, pero explain kung paano sila nababayaran. So
to be fair, Noel, marami sa mga COA report na yan, they're just flags, no? Meaning maybe may nagkamali or maybe mali yung na-file. I would even think the majority of those, no? Kasi that happens in all offices. And there's time para ayusin yan, para i-correct, para i-explain. But meron dyan porsyento dyan na kailangan talaga siyang ituloy into cases. Merong porsyento ng mga nahanap dyan, kailangang ituloy siya. So, yung sinasabi na, lahat ba ito ng DOH? Hindi. No? Marami po sa DOH magigiting na tao, marami po sa gobyerno magigiting na tao pa rin. And maybe they were flagged. But there's a percentage of those in that report na dapat ituloy, dapat imbestigahan, at dapat kasuhan. No? So, hindi mo pwedeng lahatin. As somebody who has worked in government in the past, hindi mo pwedeng lahatin. Hindi lahat ng COA report magkakaparehas. But definitely, may porsyento po dyan. Kailangan may follow through. Kung talagang galit tayo sa korupsyon, kailangan tuloy-tuloy po yun hanggang sa pagsampa ng kaso.
But take us through the process. Kunyari, kung ayaw ng presidente yung COA report, and then sinabi niya na tama na yung pag-flag ng mga offices na under the executive, no? Paano yung next step? Susunod na lang ba ang COA sa presidente? Ganun lang ang dapat?
I'll look at it from my experience during the 2014 COA report, no, regarding the ghost projects. No? The COA came out with a report. The ombudsman at that time, si Conchita Carpio Morales, of course, alam nating napakatapang rin at napaka-independent. Siya yung nagtuloy. At siya yung nagkaso sa Sandigan Bayan. At siya yung nag-file ng mga cases. No? So, yan yung natural progression yan. No? The COA will provide an audit that will be further studied. Meron dyan mistakes lang talaga. Nagkamali lang o meron dyan, wala naman talagang kumita, but maybe there were technical mistakes and they might be reprimanded. So hindi rin yun enough na kasuhan ka. And then meron talagang corruption. Yung talagang may nagbulsa, may kumita, yun talaga dapat kasuhan. No? So to be fair, may process yan na kinikilatis at magkakaroon ng analysis, no, of these flags. No? And then in the end, magde-decide yung probably the ombudsman, sino dapat yung kasuhan. So honestly, that should be followed through. No, kailangan i-follow through 'yan kasi kung meron nga na lumabas na nangyaring matinding corruption at hindi natin yun malalaman, Noel, no, kung walang magpa-follow through, 'di ba? Kung meron talaga during a pandemic, kailangan talagang kasuhan 'yan. Because these are the times na kailangan natin na seryoso tayo sa corruption.
But who will do that now, ma'am? Kasi nga parang everyone seems to be so engrossed with the COVID response at tipong parang sino yung tututok niyan and next election na, ma'am? Firing off the candidates.
Well, the timing of course medyo mahirap yung timing, no? But the ombudsman who should be apolitical, I mean, ganoon naman talaga yung pag-appoint dun sa posisyon na iyon. And si Carpio Morales, if you remember, she was very independent in what she did, no, during that time na nagkaroon ng mga pagsampa ng mga kaso. The ombudsman should carry this through. The COA should submit it to the ombudsman. Yung mga nakikita nilang dapat kasuhan, the ombudsman will again analyze and see kung meron dapat kasuhan dyan.
Nagulit lang ako na yung isa na pinangalanan dun sa procurement ng mga face mask at yung paraphernalia ng ganun ay lumipat at parang sinubukang ma-appoint sa ombudsman din. So umiikot lang yung mga taong yun, ma'am. So who will yung sa tingin mo COA will be courageous enough to keep this fight? Or tatahimik na lang yan in deference to the next election?
Well, alam mo, Noel, yung mga COA, I've been out of government for a few years. Pero yung mga alam kong COA, nandun pa rin naman sila ngayon, no?
Maayos
at yung mga COA, maayos talaga sila. They're largely independent. They're not politicians. Hindi sila mga politiko.
Public servant talaga.
They do their job, sometimes to the detriment of the agency na kung saan sila nakabahay. Don't forget, yung mga COA nakabahayan sa mga ahensya. Diba?
Yes.
So, I hope they will continue doing their job. These flags naman, to be fair to DOH, yung 67 billion, that will be further analyzed at makikita kung anong porsyento ba talaga dyan yung dapat kasuhan. But I hope they push through and I hope the ombudsman will do their job in terms of kung meron talagang ebidensya at meron talagang irregularity, dapat ituloy nila yan. No? Yeah. Because kung hindi, it's a joke. Kung wala, joke time na talaga tayo, di ba? These are very serious allegations that need to be further studied, no? And I hope the Senate also does continue their report. Usually kasi, Noel, may corresponding report yung Senado na nagsasabi. Nakita rin namin lahat ng report, nakita namin yung ebidensya, yung pananaw namin, ito yung mga dapat kasuhan, no? So that's the Senate report usually, and it's important na malabas rin yon at the soonest time.
Sa tingin mo yung Senate? Sa tingin ko rin naman, parang the Senate is really diligent in doing that thing. No? So, yeah. So
I think they'll do their jobs well. To be fair, no, they've crossed party lines a number of times, no, especially for the pandemic, at mahalaga na gawin nila yung trabaho nila.
Yes. Ang maganda dito, you think good governance or this issue will be a major issue to come next elections?
Well, hindi ko alam, Noel, kung itong particular issue na ito, pero alam ko yung pandemya.
Na yun, no? Pero oo nga, the COVID response must be, di ba?
The COVID response, Noel, kasi, Noel, saan ka naman nakakita, no? Our economy, hirap na yung ating mga small and medium enterprises, no? Hirap na. Marami tayong kababayan na sa unemployment line, naghahanap ng tulong. Every time magkaka-lockdown, no? Marami sa mga kababayan natin, kinakabahan talaga sa kanilang pamilya, no? Kung may mauuwi ba sila o hindi sa kanilang pamilya. So, I think this pandemic, itong pag-handle ng pandemic, magiging mabigat ito. At syempre, yung kalagayan ng ating bansa, magiging mabigat yan pagdating ng panahon na boboto tayo. And sorry to bring it back to the film, again. Noel, but si Tito Ninoy, nung umuwi siya, ang pinaglalaban niya demokrasya, na matigil na yung diktadura sa ating bansa. Dahil sabi rin nga niya, no one person has the monopoly of all the great ideas, all the great things in the world. Nakakayanin lang yan ng isang tao o isang grupo o isang pamilya. Kailangan yung kapangyarihan nakakalat yan sa taong bayan. At it goes back to Pinoy's kayo ang boss ko, 'di ba? That was Pinoy's famous line, and I think tahi-tahi lahat yun eh. Yung liderato na mas nakatuon sa taong bayan kaysa nakatuon sa sarili o sa mga kakampi. I think at the end of the day, yun yung pinaglaban ni Tito Ninoy. At sana mapanood po ng mga nanonood sa atin dito yung sining yon. Last Journey of Ninoy, matagal na po. It's a 13-year-old movie pero very relevant pa rin po siya sa panahon natin.
I'll push it pa rin, Bam. Kasi ikaw yung, if there's anything that Bam does well, aside from like guiding all of us, is really bringing people together. If there's anyone who wants unity, ikaw yon. And at alam ko, yun ang role mo ngayon sa pag-solidify or pag-consolidate ng mga tao na maging mas mulat, no, at mas maging critical sa nangyayari natin ngayon. Where are you now in consolidating the opposition, Bam? I know.
Ano siya? Well, it's moving. It's moving. Sometimes nagdadasal ako, Noel, kailangan ata natin ng divine intervention dito. Kailangan ng tulong ni Lord, no, para people step up and some people step down. No? Hindi siya madali, definitely.
And it is very selfless of you, Bam, because even your own plans, wala pa talaga. Parang much as I'd like to like push for you for senator or to run, parang ikaw pinapapauna mo yung meeting ni Ma'am Lenny with Tito Soto, Lenny ni Manny Pacquiao, ni Ma'am Lenny with Isko Moreno and all the other factions. So kumusta so far? Anong nagaganap?
Ayos naman, Noel. Of course, I can't go into detail, but I think yung mahalaga, nakikita ng maraming grupo, hindi lang po yung mga politiko, because we also meet with student leaders, we meet with religious groups, we meet with many different individuals and groups na nakikita na yung pangangailangan natin na magtulungan at magsama-sama. Maybe we can set aside certain issues first, not the big issues, but certain issues, pwede isang tabi muna, para lang magkaroon tayo ng mas malaking puwersa pagdating ng susunod na eleksyon. No? I think mahalaga yon. Maraming nakakaintindi dyan, pero ngayong September, dahil padating na tayo sa September, that's when a lot of decisions have to be made. So, let's continue praying for it, but more importantly, sana yung tayo rin, no? Taong bayan, sana we also put pressure on our leaders to coalesce, na magtulungan. No, imbis na i-pressure sila na makipag-away-away, which is probably what the media would want, no? Magbigay tayo ng pressure na sana magtulungan tayo. Sana we're able to come to some commonalities moving forward, no?
Inikilabutan ako, Bam, kasi yun nga, ikaw yung in-endorse ni Senator Ping nung eleksyon, tapos alam ko talagang push ka sa mga tao sa Itbulaga. Yan parang napagsasama mo yung mga taong yan, at maraming salamat sa ginagawa mong yan. You remain hopeful na magkakaroon ng isang solid na grupo for the election.
Yes, I think so. Noel, tingnan mo yung nangyari sa Malaysia, no? Sa Malaysia, para matalo nila si Razak, si Anwar, tsaka si Mahathir nagsama. Si Mahathir, siya yung nagpakulong kay Anwar. Take note, okay? So that was a unexpected coalition that beat their administration at that time na may mga corruption issues. Tingnan mo yung nangyari sa Amerika. Hindi lang yung mas progresibong grupo sa Democrat Party, sila Bernie Sanders, yung nakipagtulungan kay Biden, who was seen to be very, very moderate, no? Masyadong moderate kumpara dun sa mga mas aktivistang grupo ng Democrat Party. Hindi lang sila yung nagsama-sama, pati yung mga former Bush officials, pati yung widow ni John McCain na naging kalaban ni Obama, nagtulungan sila because they saw a bigger threat to their country, which was Donald Trump, no? Yung unang nagbabanatan dun sa primaries ng Democrats, si Kamala Harris at si Joe Biden. In the end, sila yung nagtandem, di ba? And they were successful. So, we're looking at examples of how we need to come together to be able to compete against a group na napakalakas, no? Hawak ang lahat, literally, at nakakatakot, no? Kasi magaling silang mag-wield ng power, no? So, this is the only formula, I think, na, we need to come together. And maybe hindi yan lahat magsasama-sama, but a few of these groups need to come together to be able to put up a stronger force, no? At yung grupong yun yung suportahan natin.
And it should happen before they file their candidacies, no?
Ideally, Noel, although maraming nagsasabi na pwede namang nasa February na or pwede namang sa Abril na, but for me, ideally, magsama-sama at magtulungan na bago mag-file, no? And to be very honest, Noel, no, even though syempre, many of us here are, many of your listeners probably like me are supporters of the Vice President. Siya rin mismo, no, nakikita niya na mahalaga na we do this effort of trying to bring people together because it's really, I think, putting country before yourself. No, unahin muna natin yung bansa. Of course, marami rin kasi nagbabatikos, no, sa prosesong ito. Of course, di naman yan na magsasama-sama lang for no reasons. Dapat may mga commonalities talaga. And sabi ko nga, hindi natin malalaman yung commonalities na yan kung hindi tayo mag-uusap-usap. No? So kailangan simulan natin yung proseso ng pag-uusap-usap na may respeto. We may not always agree, pero at least sinubukan natin na magtulungan at magsama-sama. We went that step, no?
Ang ganda lang kasi parang you are tasked to do that. Parang you took it on yourself to like do that. And in the process also sacrificing your own. So, bam, you're willing to let go of your senatorial bid.
It's really not
the slate, no?
Oh, Noel, it's really not the priority right now. Kasi ang hirap kasi pag tumatakbo ka, pag nag-uusap kayo, horse trading na kaagad eh. Oh, saan mo ba ako madadala? Saan ba kita pwede dalhin? Ganun na kaagad yung usapan eh, 'di ba? So, to be able to talk about this coalition, kailangan talaga you come with an open heart eh. And it will only work this way, no. So ang pangako ko naman sa Vice President at sa mga iba pa nating kasama, uunahin ko muna 'to, no. If there's any talk about, you know, my own situation, dulo na 'yon. Dulo na siya, 'di ba? Right now, ito yung pinakamahalaga. This is what we have to focus on. And I'm hoping na more of us will also support this endeavor na magsama-sama at magtulungan.
Yes. How near are we to that, ma'am? May initial talks at hintayin natin si Senator Manny Pacquiao pagkatapos ng bout niya. Alam ko malaking sakripisyo yan sa'yo, pero merong point ba of like getting them together and really, or may isang titiwalag yan eventually?
I'm hopeful that hindi naman sa tiwalag kasi parang ang pangit naman sabihin na tumiwalag, no? But
may isa daw kahit anong mangyari, magtatakbo pa rin bilang presidente, di ba? May ganong balita. So
yeah, but ako feeling ko kasi at the end of the day, Noel, makikita natin yung mas mahalaga, and that is to come together for our country. Now, may timeline ba yan? Mahirap magbigay ng timeline. Yung mga grupong nagbibigay ng timeline, hindi nila nami-meet yung kanilang deadline, di ba? So, I would prefer na let's let this happen naturally. Anyway, may openness naman na mag-usap-usap. Tingnan natin kung saan to aabot. And again, sabi nga, with God's help, anything is possible. So, I'm hoping rin may konting basbas galing kay Lord dito sa ginagawa natin.
Pero naman siguro yan at ng mga tao. Ang maganda lang, yun nga, our guest here, si Bam, at yung susunod na guest natin, si Ogie, parang yan yata yung pinaka, unique selling proposition. Marunong kayong tipo ng mga tao. Yun, diba nga, bring people together and then make them work together, and that yun, para may isang kabuuan na maganda na nakalalabasan. So, let's just keep on hoping, and then Bam, remind the people again about tomorrow, how important tomorrow is.
Yes, unang-una Noel, thank you for this opportunity. Alam ko binigla kita this morning, no? So, salamat sa oras mo. Bukas po, August 21, please join us. The last journey of Ninoy film showing. It will be on the Kaya Natin Facebook page alongside hundreds of other Facebook pages po na ilalabas yung film, docu-film tungkol kay Ninoy Aquino sa kanyang mga huling araw. Pagkatapos po noon, may panel discussion led by another good friend of mine and Noel, si Ria Tanwatco Trillo. So she'll be hosting the panel discussion. We hope you can also join for that. So maraming salamat and magandang araw po sa inyong lahat.
Thank you very much, Bam. We'll show the trailer of that, the full trailer of that film. And then up next, we have someone, a convener like you, Bam, getting people together to do a common good. Ogie Alcasid we're celebrating his birthday, advanced birthday, next week, next Friday yung birthday niya. We'll show the trailer of the last, what's that again? The Last Journey. Is that it? Last Journey of Ninoy.
Paulit-ulit kang nagplano.
Now, if he says that he wants to come back here, sure, by all means.
I will go back because I think I'm innocent. And if Mr. Marcos would like to shoot me on that basis, so be it.
Maybe there's a real assassination group that they're trying to scare me.
I've ordered the arrest of those directly involved in the conspiracy to overthrow our duly constituted government by violence and subversion.
What can one man do? I have no army, I have no following, I have no money. I only have my indomitable spirit.
Marcos checked in at the kidney center. He flunked all tests, and the conclusion was if they operate on him, it would be fatal. They are now moving to put in Imelda in effective control. Yeah. They're watching me. They're following all my steps. The rumor in Manila is that I'm taking the private jet of Enrique.
Before he left, sabi ko, can you tell me what possible scenarios there will be? The last thing he said was, but if they make a mistake and they have me killed, then that's the best thing that will happen to me because I've always wanted to die for our country.
In a matter of 3-4 minutes, it could be all over.
Gawin mo na. Lakas ng kalooban, lakas ng katawan. Wala kang uurungan pag yumanan dumaan. Sarili pagbutihin, maging isip at damdamin. Lahat sila'y ayain ng mag-level up na din.
Okay, now on our second part, we have someone, nakatulad ni Senator Bam, sabi ko, if there's someone in our industry that can get people together and inspire people together towards one good action, itong taong to yun. I've always considered him, yun nga, the leader, El Presidente, yung tawag ko sa kanya. The OPM President, who's celebrating his 54th birthday next week. So inunahan na nating lahat. Happy birthday, Ogie! How are you?
Thank you. I'm all right. Thank you, Noel, for the invitation. I am very honored to be your guest today, Radyo-Katipunan. I used to study in a school very near Katipunan.
I know.
So, Katipunero din ako.
Truth be told, I met Ogie during our freshman orientation seminar. I was, fourth year college. Kami yung senior, so nagpapatakbo nun. He was singing Texman and Janet
my gosh.
When they were promoting their single. So yun, pro na sila during that time, during our freshman orientation seminar. But Ogs, second birthday in quarantine, no? So it's MECQ on your birthday. How does that feel?
I think medyo sanay na tayo, no? I'm used to it.
Sanay ka na.
We will always say that we miss the times that we can all get together and all of that. But of course, nothing replaces being with your family. So okay pa rin naman. At least I'm with my family and they're very close to me. Except that the only regrettable thing is that I won't be able to see my mother again. But other than that, I mean, we can do Zoom. Pwede naman tayong tulad ng ginagawa natin ngayon, di ba? So, there's technology.
And we've celebrated birthdays of friends also na ganito, Zoom din talaga, no? But how do you intend to celebrate it this year? So, pangalawang taon na at sana naman wala nang pangatlo, parang nakaalpas na tayo sa lockdown.
Yeah, maganda sanang sa pangatlo hindi na tayo nag-zoom at face-to-face na, no? Truth to be told, actually, tinanong ako ng anak ko kanina, what are you planning on your birthday? Sabi ko, I haven't even thought about it. Bago tayo nag-ECQ, I wanted to take the family sana to the beach.
Yun nga Pero ngayon daw, sabi daw, walang leisurely travel.
Yeah.
So, hanggang end of the month.
Yeah, so wala na yun. So, dito lang tayo sa bahay. We've done all the tapings for ASAP before the ECQ, so hanggang 29 na meron kaming nakabangko na episode. So September will be another month. So
ano yung effect sa'yo ng lockdown, Ogs? I know the family ties has never been parang stronger kasi yun talaga parang at the first ECQ wala kayong help, no, house help. Kayo talaga doing things yourself.
Yeah.
Pero ngayon, more family time, what more?
I would not lie to you if hindi kami nakakaramdam ng stress and anxiety. It's I think kumbaga you would think every say season medyo mababawasan pero hindi I think the more that we are locked in our homes, the stress adds up. And so that's on the daily menu, the stress. But I would say that because we always, just like every family, we always pray together, and it has been a source of strength for us.
Yeah.
Those are the positives that I can take from it.
You've been so active on social media, and I think that was one of your coping mechanisms, Ogs, na? Well, from comedy to, yun nga, yung waking up early, kami ni Ryan, sabi ang aga naman ni Ogie, nag-Facebook live, pero parang ubuti na lang, parang being grateful when you are alive. Ang ganda nga nung sinimulan mong yun. Tapos may pa-comedy ka pa with your house help, no? Yung mga kasambahay. Tapos then there's yung isa pang level ng praise. So parang you've been so active on social media. How do you feel about that pivot, Ogs?
Alam mo, Noel, it wasn't a conscious pivot on my part. It was really something that I was doing for myself, for my family. I felt the need to reach out, and streaming was something very new to me.
Yes.
And then nakasanayan ko the technology behind it na got me so interested, and yeah, it has also helped us with work, you know.
At multitasking, di ba? Parang ikaw yung technicals, ikaw na yung talent, ikaw yung taga-suporta kay Mrs. Parang nagganon.
Right.
Pero yung range ng ginawa mo, Ogie, no? From waking up, and it's very authentic and real in the morning, to praise. Having parang, and the magnitude of support, parang hindi natin ma-imagine na kung walang pandemic, ganun kalaki yung audience kahit wala dito sa bansa. So, how does that make you feel? Parang that's newfound power or influence sa'yo, di ba?
I don't really look at it in that way. I just felt that, there's an audience out there that needs this. There was a need for it, and their messages to me were very, very encouraging. Even TikTok pinasok ko because people were responding to my kalokohan, and it was helping me also, you know, psychologically, and at the same time I like the fact that people are amused by it, and I was encouraged by the fact that people were liking it. So these are just things that I didn't force. It came out of necessity, but a lot of learning, and it seems na pagkatapos nitong lahat, hindi naman mawawala itong lahat. It will be part and parcel again of you know, of the norm.
Because the core is there. Parang ako nga, natutuwa kami, Ogie, kasi consistent naman yung Ogie na family man, Ogie na nakakatawa, Ogie na chill lang, yung nakikita namin, kay TikTok man o dance number na ni Mrs. Parang gano'n, no? Pero kakaibang medium na in the end, how does this help you? When you say it helps you psychologically, you want to understand, Ogs, that artists would need that venue also, no? Anong epekto nito sa'yo? Parang pag ginagawa mo yung mga TikTok and people liking it.
Sa akin personally, may validation, no, yung ginagawa mo. And then I get to reach a younger audience.
Yeah.
Siyempre, yung mga nakikinig naman talaga sa akin, yung mga kaedad natin, di ba?
Yeah.
But then there's a younger audience that I get to address and get to communicate with, and they've been very, very responsive. Of course, ang naaalala nung iba, yung mga dati sa Bubble Gang, di ba? Yung mga Boy Pickup, yung mga Angelina and Yaya with Bitoy, and then they realize, siya pala yun, ano? And he's the songwriter, he's this and that. So there is this new recognition that I guess I get to experience. Again, I have to say, Noel, hindi ko naman sinadya yun, parang...
Correct.
Oo.
It just comes together kasi nga, authentic eh. Tapos kahit nga yung dad bod mo eh, na kahit ipakita mo, yung mga tao sabing ganun, oh, it's very real. Yun yung parang naaliw lang kasi no vanity there. You just look like it's very Ogie. Yun nga yung babalikan. But what's here?
Go ahead.
Yeah, go. No,
Kasi, sasabihin ko sana, medyo mahirap dalhin yun pagka medyo pogi ka or buti na lang comedic din yung aking mga posts na pag sinabi yung pag nagdadbad na ayan na naman siya. Wala siyang pakialam sa ginagawa niya.
Yung pera bash, parang gano'n.
Yeah. Normally, you'd be bashed for that, but you know, it's just that, you know, we're all dads. Mga tatay tayo, iba na yung pangangatawan natin. Di ba? Let the dad buds be seen.
Lagi ko sinasabi, kasi mabait kang tao, kaya mabait sa'yo yung mga tao din. And one of the things that I appreciated your tribute in ASAP, parang sabi ko, that's getting out of the mold. Now, people expected an OPM tribute with Ogie, but you sang songs they sang songs for you, your favorite songs, This One's For You, Smile, Loving You, The First Time, etc. So, parang sabi ko, that's a different thing. But going back, since it's a birthday, parang retrospective, Ogs, those were really your favorite songs. And what qualifies as your favorite songs? Sa tingin ko yung may mga storya, pero hindi siya yung mga birit-birit, no?
No, not at all. First of all, di naman ako biritero. But secondly, aside from My Way, which is my dad's favorite song, which is my tribute to him, the rest of the songs were all the songs that sort of celebrate my love for my wife. No? Kaya yung mga songs na yon are the songs that remind me of how we are, diba? As a couple. So, you know, marami pa sana yun eh. May mga Barbra Streisand pa sana and all of that. But, you know, those are just songs that we grew up with. Yeah.
Galing. But now, let's go through, your catalog. Okay? So, if those were the songs na hindi OPM na gusto mo or that shaped you, no? What are the songs that are not written by you na OPM na parang kasama talaga sa playlist mo? Give me 5 at least, Odds.
Hindi mahirap yan.
Top of your head. Okay,
there would be the Basil Valdez songs, like You, Lift Up Your Hands.
Okay.
All the Odette Quesada songs of Baguettes. The Sharon Cuneta songs, To Love Again. The Rick Segreto songs, Give Me a Chance.
And those are the things that parang you wish you've written, no? Parang
yes. And I like singing them all the time, you know. In fact, nagpagawa ko ng mga -1 ng mga Rick Segreto, mga Basil Valdez. Of course, singing it in my own way, no. But these are the songs that are immortal to me.
At yung may smile lang pag kinanta mo, no? But doon naman sa catalog mo, ano yung mga kanta mo, mahirap to na paborito mo na sinulat? Parang ganon. Yung among your songs, ano yung 5 pinaka-paborito mo? And tell us why.
I think number 1 would be Kailangan Kita, which became a film of Aga and Claudine and sung by Gary and Piolo. That, I don't know, that song just resonates with me.
At immortal, no? Parang hindi lang at that time.
I don't know. I will always just be biased, no. But that song to me is a strong favorite of mine. Pangarap Kong Ibigin Ka, which Regine sang, is one of my favorites because it reminds me of our beginnings.
Yes.
And at the same time, it's actually a very difficult song to sing kasi magkakaiba yung keys niya, no? I wrote the verse and the chorus separately, tapos pinagduktong ko. Hanggang Ngayon, which is a duet with Regine, is my very first duet with her, which I really, really love. There's a song that Ryan likes. It's called Wag Ka Lang Mawawala, and every time he plays that song, he said, "Oh, I love the melody of this song," and he calls it a Neapolitan song. I said, what does that mean? Apparently, it's a genre from Italian music. You know, that's
Okay.
as far as I understand it. So I said, oh, okay. I like that one.
Last one. Sana makapasok yung isang gusto ko.
Sa kanya, but although I didn't write that song,
Okay.
Pangako, maybe, kung
Yung
mawawala
level
ka.
bad na yung sa kanya. Ito, well, one of my personal favorites that you've written na of late, no? Yung ikaw lamang.
Oh, yeah.
Ibang klase yun kasi that's a modern day Kundiman for me. And parang, yun, parang kahit tumagal, lalong gumaganda. Parang ibang
You know,
klase yun.
Noel, I'm glad you mentioned the word kundiman because when I was writing that song, it was really my intention.
Kilabutan ako, oo, galing.
That melodic line to me was reminded me so much of, you know, the early Tagalog songs, and that was my intention.
Pero ano
Thank
yun?
you.
Was it commissioned to be a theme song for a film, or it was just a song there and then eventually they got it for the film Dubai?
Kailangan Kita was really, as far as I remember, was commissioned work, no?
Yung ikaw lamang. Ikaw lamang.
During that time, Star Cinema asked me for some songs. So I submitted a couple of songs, and I think one of them was Ikaw Lamang, and I remember they said, hey, parang bagay ito dun sa movie nila na Dubai, and so it became the theme song of the Aga. Was that
John
Bea?
Lloyd.
John Lloyd, yeah.
John Lloyd and Claudine movie.
Claudine,
na
that's right, that's right.
So,
Yeah.
at pag nare-arrange pa ng mga tao, nung kinanta mo yata yun with an orchestra, ibang klase lang. Kasi
Thank
parang
you.
lumalabas yung tradition nga, yung Dakundiman tradition na pwede talagang tumagal, pwedeng mag-hop from one generation to another. So, it's just that. Sa songwriting mo, Ogs, saan ka nalilinya now? Well, nag-novelty ka ngayon, no?
Yeah.
Ang ganda lang kasi parang, kailangan ng panahon. Pero where is this leading you to your
Well,
songwriting at this point?
I'm about to release a song this September, and it's a Christmas song.
Oh, yay! We all love Christmas songs.
It's a Christmas
Ogie was
song.
one of those na naglabas ng Christmas album. I know it was Joey Albert, yung Kumukuti-Kuti Tap. And then you also had that with yung may kandila kang ganon.
Yeah.
From Octo Arts. Okay,
That's
so
right.
it's a Christmas song. Tell us about it, Ogs.
Well, meron kasi kaming Viber group, no? Nina Gary, myself, Jo Marichan, Christian Bautista, and Noel Capangon, and
OPM
Ding
group.
Dong. Yeah, that's right. OPM Board of Directors. And I remember one time during the pandemic, si Jo Marichan kind of challenged all of us. We need another Christmas song.
In our hearts. So,
You know, and I said, but Ninong kasi tawag ko sa kanya, Ninong,
yes.
nothing will ever replace what you have written for us, you know, and notably, Christmas in Our Hearts. And he said, no, but we need a new song. And as he was talking to us, I was already doodling. And then, I think it was that night that I started writing it down, and then I sent it to them. I said, what do you think of this? And I guess I didn't really get that reaction. Parang tulog na sila. And then, Jo Marichan said, uy, ang bilis mo naman. Sabi ko, Ninong, challenge mo kami. Challenge mo ako.
Galing.
And then so I started putting a melody on it, and then I let him listen to it. And he was the first one to listen to it. And he said, wow, this is a song that I think will be, I guess, representing the mood that we need for the coming Christmas. I didn't want a somber kind of mood. I wanted something hopeful, something that reminds us of, of how we Filipinos actually celebrate Christmas, in spite of what we're going through.
What's the title, Ogs?
It's called Pasko ng Mga Pinoy.
Hey, galing. Pwede mag-sample kahit konti lang.
Sure. I have a piano here. Okay, hang on.
Galing. You know why? Like kami sa Ateneo, we're launching a Christmas songwriting contest. You know why? Nakakabait, nakakasaya yung mga Christmas songs. Di ba? Parang ngayon kasi tama naman yung usap nyo sa OPM. Parang we need more Christmas songs because we become more hopeful. We become happier. Kasi pag Pasko, lagi parang bumabait yung mga tao pag nakakarinig niyan, kahit nasa traffic, kahit nasa pandemya. So we want to hear a part of your Christmas song.
Sure.
Naman.
Let me see if I remember it.
Yes, okay.
Is the piano sounding okay?
Yes.
Nararamdaman sa simoy ng hangin, sa pagkaabala ng bawat isa, darating na nga ang Pasko. Napapakinggan sa mga awitan ng mga bata sa matatanda ng Merry Christmas. Maghahanda ng Noche Buena, kahit lugaw ay okay na. May pa-soft drinks man lang, dala ng giveaway, basta't kasama ang buong pamilya. Ang Pasko ng mga Pinoy, ibang-iba, laging masaya. Pagsapit ng September, akala mo'y December, naririnig mo na ang Christmas in our hearts. Di malilimutan ng Pinoy ang himig ng Pasko. Laging mananatili sa ating mga puso ang pagmamahal ni Kristo. Parang gano'n.
All the elements are there, no? Celebration, the food, etc., the family together in Christ.
Yes.
Kasi parang nakakabait talaga at nakakasaya yung Pasko. Kahit na ano yung pagdaanan natin, thank you for that. Kasi yun talaga, parang ang bilis. And I've seen Ogie compose. Gaano katagal mo ginawa ulit yun?
It was overnight.
Ang galing.
So, but I wasn't using the piano. I was just humming on my phone. It just came very, very naturally. It was obviously very different from all the songs that I've written.
Yes. But it's Christmas.
That's right. Of late, kasi like the last song that I wrote prior to this was for my dad. You know, when he passed away.
Yeah.
So, and that was in English. Again, it was different from all the songs that I've written.
Pag ganun ba, kunyari yung English na songs mo, kasi nasa ilalim ng puso mo, parang ganun na? Well, kasi you've written a song also for Regina, praise song. Or mahirap bang sumulat ng praise song na Tagalog?
Mas mahirap ang Tagalog. Kasi,
mas mahirap yung Tagalog.
Mahirap siya kasi ang daming nuances ng Tagalog, di ba?
Yes.
I'm sure you know that eh.
Pero taga Batangas ka, I'll yield to you. Talagang mas taal na Tagalog, yun yung sa'yo. Pero ang maganda lang, Ogie's bilingual, so he can shift easily from English to Tagalog. Pero let's go to your for your dad, no? Parang ako, yun, gaano kalaki yung epekto sa'yo ng pagkawala niya during the pandemic? And have you come to terms with it already?
I'm sorry?
Have you come to terms with it already? Kasi I saw the tribute of your mom and your brother in ASAP. Sabi nila parang ikaw na talaga yung tumayong parang guardian nila pareho after your dad passed on.
It's been really, really hard on the entire family, and there are moments when, minsan tinatanong ko sa asawa ko, bakit ganun? I can't seem to shake it off. May mga moments na bigla na lang akong maiiyak on my own, and my wife was saying, because you weren't with him, and that's the really, really tragic thing about COVID, no? You die alone.
True.
So that's something that I guess I will have difficulty coming into terms with. Medyo matatagalan tayo dyan. But
kinabutan ako kasi parang walang closure, no? This is how people feel.
Right.
Yeah.
And with my mom too. So every time I I see my mom, andun yung bakas na bakas sa kanya yung kalungkutan, no? And that's why itong buong ano ba tawag dito, nangyari sa amin, talagang I made sure that I would be there physically if I can during the days that I don't quarantine, and of course talk to my mom. So it's hard, and I kaya noong sinulat ko yung kanta na yun, I dedicated it also to those people who probably have lost their loved ones and lost their dads, and at the same time probably still have their dads but have a difficult relationship with their dad. So it's just a way of me honoring my dad for all the things that he's done for me and my entire family.
It's a healing song. It's a healing practice also, no? Pero yung nangyari yun, have you grieved enough? Parang nalapat mo na ba? Or parang spurts talaga yan and eventually?
Yeah.
Oh.
Ano talaga siya? It'll just hit you at this very, may maaalala ka.
Yeah.
Na nakakatawa, and then that emotion turns into sorrow, or say music, especially with music. Because Dad loved music so much. There are songs that I hear that reminded me so much of my dad. Sports, whenever nanalo si Yuka Sasso because he loves golf. Reminds me so much. Ako, kung nakita lang siguro ni Daddy to, he would be so proud of her. Yung mga ganun ba?
So na been a good father and son bonding na pinapanood mo.
Very sporadic. But I think I'm doing a lot better. Considering my wife says that you'll never get over it.
Galing lang. Kasi you'll continue parang being challenged to be a better father. Ganun yung siguro. And ako, ang tama sa akin, yung tumama rin sa akin, aside from yun kay Nate, kay Leila, at kay, what's the other name?
Sarah.
Si Sarah, I saw. Pero grabe yung pagka-miss sa'yo ng isang girl mo na hindi mo kasama dun sa message niya sa ASAP. No? So, with the passing of your dad, I guess it was a whole challenge too, not only taking care of your mom and your brother, but your family. No? So, how does it feel that parang OFW din na father na nagtatrabaho sa ibang bansa, hindi mo makasama yung isa mong anak na nandun?
It's been horrible. Yung anak kong yun, 2.5 years ko na hindi
Ogie, ang ganda. Ang ganda ng anak mong yun. And talagang, I felt yung longing niya for you across the miles during her message in ASAP.
And I'm very, very proud of her. She, obviously of all my kids, no? Pero she is taking up nursing. And something that she really wanted to do. Sabi ko, alam mo anak, Pilipina ka talaga.
And you're serving the world.
Yeah, and she said, what do you mean by that? So I explained to her, our culture of nurturing culture. And she said, oh, I understand. And I remember, nung batang bata yan, talagang, naalala ko nung yung daddy at mommy ko nagpuntang Australia for the very first time. And it was so cold winter. And she was the one taking care of them, ganun talaga siya.
Yun ako, parang iba yung tama na, Ogie, pumanaw yung tatay, pero siya yung tumayong tatay ng pamilya niya, your mom and your brother, and then yun nga, parang, yun din yung tema, parang na isang nurturing na tatay at family man dun sa pamilya mo nga ngayon. So, and then one lesson during the pandemic, no, parang it's not really, pagdagdag kung ano yung gusto mo pa, pero it's taking care of what you have already. So yung back to basics, no? So aside from Zooming at this point, ano pa yung bonding mo with the family at this point, Ogs, na parang hindi mo akalain na magagawa mo? Have you learned any new skill?
Well, when my wife had a really long bout with migraine.
Yeah nga, she thanked you for that, no? During a particular episode in ASAP too.
Yeah, it was really, really terrible. Like, it lasted for a month, I suppose. And because dahil wala kaming cook dito, I was the one cooking for her. So I'm not a great cook, but nag-YouTube ako and I started learning.
Oh, endorsements come in. So what did you?
Well, we did get some endorsements, di ba, for cooking. But
pero anong manaluto mo?
I'm sorry?
Ano yung mga naluto mong pagkain? Galing naman.
Well, yung mga simple lang, I would make some asparagus for her with salmon. Yung mga simpleng-simple lang. And then, sabi ko, gusto ba ng karne? Yung mga madadali lang, adobo, di ba? Very, very simple meals. But, which she appreciated. What other skill did I learn? Ako, parang nabalik ako talaga actually sa pagpapiano. Kasi through all these years na parang dami ko kasing ginagawa, di ba? Comedy and all that. Parang napabayaan ko yung pagpapiano ko. So I take more time now. I devote a few hours just playing and enjoying it at the same time. So
Sure, kay Ogie Alcasid, nakilala ko siya, may piano siya sa lahat ng damit niya. yung insignia niya nung nagsisimula sa industriya. So, nice to go back to basics, no? Full circle, balik sa pagpapiano. Other things, Ogs, parang ang ganda lang na, the piano para rin sa'yo, pero you use it also to perform. Parang yung mga skill na natutunan mo, hindi rin lang para sa'yo, di ba? It's something shared, no? In out of service for other people.
That's true. And not too many people know that I could play. I'm not a fantastic piano player, but kung kailangan kong, mag-accompany, kaya ko naman habulin. So, nakakatuwa na, yun yung isang skill na hindi mo pwedeng sayang naman, di ba? Kung papabayaan mo.
That's true. Next, of course, bago nag-lockdown, at least you're able to make a major good film that you can be proud of, Kuya Wes.
Oh, thank you.
Pero hanggang ngayon, parang wala pa rin, sarado pa rin yung mga sinihan. Looking back, retrospective lang, of the films that you did, aside from Kuya Wes, and that stands out as something na, okay, it shows a different Ogie. And when you were asking us na, okay, gawin ko ba yung Cinemalaya? Okay, that's a leap of faith that you had to do, no? What other films do you value for other films aside from Kuya Wes na may special na parang sa'yo?
There was a musical that I did.
Ayok naman.
Doobie Doo.
That's very
which
good.
I don't know if you saw that, Noel. That was a really cute film.
Rated A film with Ogie, Shasha Padilla, Gary Valenciano. Parang,
Yeah,
it was
cute.
Na ba?
I'm sorry?
Netflix na nila, di ba?
Hindi ko alam Parang hindi I was asking Direct Chris Martinez, but his response to me was, hindi pa nga na Netflix yun. So sabi ko, sayang, this would be perfect. So
that's true. And then, I think I asked you before, if it's made to a play, sana gumagawa ko rin, no?
Yeah, that would be perfect.
Other films.
Another was Yaya and Angelina with Bitoy.
Okay.
Ano yun? Ang dami mga bata na part ng youth nila yon.
Yes. It was an experiment that paid off, no? Parang, hindi nyo akalain na ganun lalaki. And then, suspension of disbelief, Ogie talaga yun. Hindi sila babae, pero galing.
Yeah, well, Bitoy, hand it to him. He's really just brilliant. So, what else? I guess my very first movie with Marilyn, Feel the Feel.
Why? Go. Why is it significant?
Because it started everything for me with my movie career, no? Imagine mo, I was 20 years old or 21 maybe, and then my first scene was with Susan Roses, diba? So parang sabi ko, okay lang kayo, si Susan Roses kagad yung kaksena ko. Of course, it was a comedy, and so I got exposed to that world, and I said, wait, it's something that I can do. You know, and then tuloy-tuloy na.
Then part of you kasi, self-deprecating kasi si Ogie kasi po, hindi ho siya yung nagbubuhat ng bangko. Kami yung mag-lift sa kanya kasi siya yung sasabi, kaya ko ba yan? Kaya ko ba yan? Hindi naman ako gwapo. Ganyan gagawin niya. So, well, yun nga, when you enter the movies, Ogs, you're anti-type, di ba? Yung parang,
Yeah, for sure.
Gano'n, no? Pero you seem to have liked it para gumawa ng pelikula. Anong effect sa'yo nun? Sa paggawa ng pelikula?
I fell in love with cinema, especially itong late nung ginawa ko na yung Kuya West. Mas na-appreciate ko yung all the years that kasi ang movie making for us, no? Before, para ka lang nagte-taping because sa dami lang ginagawa mong pelikula, you're just jumping from one film to another. Anyway, it was like you were taping, you know, doing teleserye or what. But during that time, wala pang teleserye noon eh. So it was the movies that was talagang ginagawa namin.
And then, big screen, di ba? To see yourself in a big screen, kakaiba yon.
I'm not particularly fond of watching myself, but yung just the experience of movie making from the script down to production to the actors getting together and trying to figure out our roles down to the editing, and then I appreciate it. And then when I got closer to Sina Joyce and to Sina Piolo, and they were really just yung nag-iba, was ko sarap no. And it's just sad that medyo iba na. I cannot see myself doing a film yet, to be honest.
You see yourself doing more eventually when things are okay. Probably,
but ayoko na gumawa ng mga ginagawa ko nung bata pa ako na.
Oo naman, Og. Parang progress ka naman. Pero ito, logical progression din ng Ogie because you produce or co-produced yung Kuya West, no?
Yeah.
Well, do you see that as a career path or something that you can do, produce films or even score films?
No, I'd rather be an actor. I don't want a headache anymore. I'd rather be directed. I'd rather focus my energies on trying to study the character and blend with the other characters.
May gano'n na pwede pang seryosohin.
Oh, yeah. And one of the actors that I really admire is, his name escapes me at the moment, but he's a comedic actor, but does a lot of very edgy and dramatic films. He's Canadian, or is he American? So you see The Office? The Office, but American version. So
yes. Pero yun talaga. So nakikita mo pwede kang magseryoso bilang artista. Ang galing na.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
Well, and then yun nga, parang some people like Jokoy, for example, a funny person, crossing over to film, di ba? Parang yun, kaya mo yun, Ogs, eh. Di ba?
I'd love to. Oh.
Next, medium, theater. You've tried theater when you were younger.
Yeah.
I know it's really taxing. Well, Regine has also. At sabi niya, ang ganda lang na experience that you were able to sing really good songs in theater. Do you see yourself doing that again? Ito nga, Ogs, before I don't know if pwedeng, sabi ko, wala naman na eh. Well, for the pandemic, I know ABS was really planning on your musical.
Yeah. We were, yeah, that's true. We were, I think for a period of almost 2.5 years. I was in Mr. M's office and we were writing, rewriting, and editing, and it was something that we were really dreaming of. I kind of reached out to him through love, and I said, baka gusto pa ni Mr. M. So hopefully, I think,
when things are okay, when things are
I think we were able to write something quite significant as far as story and putting all the songs together. It was a Herculean task, to be honest, but we were just dreaming and dreaming and dreaming every week. It was a wonderful experience. Maybe not yet now, but hopefully, yeah.
Pero at least it's there. It's just sparked. Pero sa tamang oras, and who knows, you might be able to like write more songs for that musical. Pero at least it's there, no? Parang at least yung core ng artistry mo, Ogs, yung sa iba't ibang medium, parang nandun, naka-plant, yun, nandun na. So,
yes.
Sana matuloy. Sana.
Sana.
What was it about?
It was about
not your life, no?
No. But kasi I gave the seed to Mr. M. I said, what do you think of this character? That he was an 80s singer-songwriter who has lost everything, lost the love of his life, and the only one that was left to him was this girl. And her name is Himig. Because of the bad fortune that he has had with his music, nalaos siya, in other words.
Okay.
Talagang pinigilan niya na maging singer yung anak niya. Kaya lang talagang hilig nung bata. So sa school, sali ng mga kung ano-ano, mga contest, not realizing na yung teacher niya, who is the female, fan nung daddy niya, nung bata pa siya.
Galing.
So they got kind of reconnected, and then, kasi pinipilit niya, dapat kumanta ka, sayang, ayaw ng tatay ko. Ako nang kakausap sa tatay ko. Sino ba yung tatay mo? Yun na nga, that character, his name is Roger something And then, si Roger, idol ko yun nung 80s, ganon. So anyway, magkakaroon sila ng relasyon, and then the kid also, will have a boyfriend in school. But here comes the problem. Yung si Himig, anak siya ng dati niyang kabanda.
Okay.
Oo, na umuwi galing Amerika. So that's how it starts. And very, very funny. It was very interesting what we came up with.
It's been fleshed out, Ogie. So kulang na lang siguro fine-tuning, and well, when the right time comes, pwede na. So sayang, no? Because they were looking forward to having a theater built, di ba?
Yeah.
For ABS supposedly, and have that as one of the first.
Yeah, I think they were calling it the Proscenium or something.
Proscenium Theater, and
I can't
the
remember.
ones lined up were your musical and Smoky Mountain. Kahit in Smoky
That's
Mountain,
right.
nawala rin, nakapark din, no? So, that's something. Well, concert scene, Og. So you've really done a lot of concerts, and ano yung favorite mo? Of course, all the tribute Araneta concerts, yun, maganda yun. Pero yung mga paborito mo na magsistay sa'yo?
Perhaps my very first Araneta concert.
Okay, yeah.
That was probably my highest box office in terms of, that was the height of Bakit Ganyan Ka Lang and all of those songs. And I had side A, Regine, and
galing, no?
I think they were my guests at that time. So, noon, ang Araneta pa, kasi di ba ang Araneta sinasara yung likod.
Yes.
Yun, hindi namin sinara dahil sa dami ng tao. And it was, I'll never forget that. This last one, 2018, I think, with the orchestra was something. I guess I'll never forget also.
Because wala na ring ABS orchestra, eh. So
That's
parang
right.
hirap na, But very good with you. You had an album with them, no? Parang bago pa man sila mawala, ang galing lang. So ako yun, parang nakaka-miss gawin yung mga concerts. But what dream concerts do you still want to have? Kahit na pagkatapos itong pandemic?
Wow.
More personal concerts already?
Yeah, I really like to do smaller concerts. And I was kind of doing that already. I was having probably every 3 or 4 months I was at the Resorts World. And I was enjoying it kasi it was more intimate. I had one concert also with an orchestra which ang sarap lang,
And your songs, no? Hindi yung parang dapat
iba-ibang concept. I was doing stuff with the Jurados. There's one concert that I had the late Roxanne Lapus direct. I think it's one of her last concerts that she directed before she passed away, and yeah, I loved it. It was with the orchestra, and I'd like to do more of that, you know.
Pero paano mag-iiba yung concert scene after the pandemic, Ogs?
I'm sorry?
Paano mag-iiba yung concert scene after the pandemic?
I think we're not gonna have full packed audiences anymore.
Yun nga.
For social distancing, we'll probably have a lot of testing. We'll probably have a section for vaccinated people. Parang gano'n na mangyayari. So ang daming health protocols na kailangan sundan, which, yeah.
In the advent of technology, kunyari the BTS concerts na di ba, kakaiba na, high-tech na masyado. You see yourself in that kind of situation, or you really like do the things you do best, or parang just stick to it? No. Probably adapt to certain things, or lalaban ba tayo dun sa mga effects?
Maybe not me. I don't think my music is for that kind of concert. Another thing is it's very, very expensive to mount those kinds of concerts. It's very difficult to recoup the cost. So I did one online concert with Ian, which we shot at the Music Museum, and I really enjoyed it. We called it Kilabo Titos.
Yes.
Sa mga titos and titas, and really, really enjoyed myself doing it. It was stress-free. It was, of course, we still followed the protocols and all of that, but ang sarap lang. Wala nga lang audience,
And you drive your energy from there, no? You derive your energy from those. So sana bumalik yun kahit papaano.
I'm just waiting for people like siguro like in America, like mga Billy Joel or
that's true.
Those other singer-songwriters to start it, that they can do it and do it online, and perhaps we can follow suit.
Yun. And then here, another facet of Ogie is really not about you again, very selfless. And now you've had your stable of talents already, Ogie.
Yeah.
And that's legacy building, no? Yung parang it's not about you, it's helping these young talents already. How fulfilling is it?
Nakakatuwa na nakikita ko sila.
Buti mo sinabi nakakatanda. Pero
nakakatanda din. When I see my artists like Lara and Davey and Moira, na nakatungtong sila sa ASAP, which is their dream.
Yes.
And I see the smiles on their faces. For me, it's all worth it. All worth the money that we had to put up the company. As you know that, you have your own management company too. It's, there's a monthly burn.
Yes.
But
iba yun eh. Parang it's really changing people's lives and making their dreams happen.
That's true.
At ako, it's so selfless of you and Regine to be guiding all of these. And ngayon nga parang, you're there at the background. At ang sarap din lang, no?
Yeah, I did not realize it would be that way. My only intention was when I saw and heard Lara and Davey, sabi ko, mataling nitong mga to.
That's true.
I don't know if anyone is going to manage them because parang hindi uso mag-manage ng singer-songwriter at that time, But I just stuck to my guns. I said, let's do it. So I rounded up my friends and I said, let's put this thing together and let's help these guys. So, now they're creating so much content. It's crazy. They're, I think 5 of them released a new song this week. So
pretty prolific, no?
It's just amazing. I'm amazed.
An extension of your goodness actually, and your commitment nga to excellence also. Parang Yun, Ogie, parang it's really not about it at hindi pera-pera lang. yun yung yun yung maganda.
Thank you.
And
Thank you.
a next step will be you as our leader in the industry. Alam ko mahirap. How's OPM now? So parang
We are not functioning at the moment. We had to stop.
Kasi walang ayuda, walang pera.
Wala. I have to explain to you guys. No, OPM po kasi is an NGO.
Yeah.
So we exist through donations. No?
Yes.
But since all of this have stopped, we've stopped operations. But I'm still in touch with the board. I'm still in touch with our executive director. The last of project that we had was a fundraiser for our members who needed ayuda.
Yeah.
So we did that. And then the last one of which was the vaccination, which we helped them get their yung nabukas na po si A4, yun na-vaccinate. So we're still waiting for the time that actually the live music industry will return, and then we can probably help them again. So, but at this, as we speak, we're not, wala kaming operations at the moment.
Ang hirap kasi parang sarili nyo lang kayod yan, Ogs, no? Parang how important is it? Kasi ngayong pandemic, nakita natin a lot of people, a lot of guilds have been formed, di ba? And para ma-recognize, how important is it na the whole music industry ought to be bonded together? Kasi maganda yung mga posts dyan. Lea Salonga will have a talk later with Marlon, yung creative ano yun, industry, no?
Yes.
Of the Philippines.
I'm also part of that. And I kudos to Lea for, leading that group, and it's so important that we all get together, all the creative industries. The creative.
Creative Industries Philippines. Yun nga yung sinabi.
Yeah, that's right. It's very important that we have one voice. Kasi
yes.
It's never been done.
You've attempted to do those. Also, when you were OP, or when in your earlier stint as OPM, yung tipong pag may mga foreign artists, dapat ganito yung gagawin. Parang kumusta yung leverage natin doon? Doon yun sa mga hiningi mo or na-accomplish mo during that time?
That's still there. You see, what you're talking about is equity. Let me just explain it to you in a nutshell what it is. Ang equity po, yan po yung karampatang binibigay po ng promoter, no? Halimbawa may dumating po dito na foreign artist, no? Meron pong equity binibigay. Parang pag kami po, when we go abroad and we sing there, our producer also pays equity. Now, that is equivalent to 5,000 pesos per foreign artist. So say someone like Celine Dion comes, 5,000 pesos yun. The reason why it's so low is because this Mohu is 30 years old. So
you've tried changing it, di ba? You've tried changing it, pero at least na-police nyo yan, di ba, Ogs?
Well, kasi nga, wala rin naman pumapasok na foreign artist. So wala rin.
That's true. Tapos yun, isa pa sa achievement mo talaga yung major playing of OPM, no? Sa mga establishments. So parang di ba may mga ganon or kahit sa radio na parang na-legislate ba yon or umabot
ba?
No,
it's a presidential decree.
A decree.
By Pinoy. And then also one of the landmarks of our OPM is ang Linggo ng Musikang Pilipino.
Yes.
Kasi yan, every last week of July, yan po sineselebrate natin yung Linggo ng Musikang Pilipino. And I'm just proud to say that ang ating pong NGO, no, binigyan po tayo ng award na very significant para sa amin kasi talagang sinabi na yung aming pong NGO, kahit maliliit pa lang po ang puhunan na hindi kinikita ang nakukuha naming donation, talagang naliliquidate namin.
Compliant sa COA, hindi kayo mapapala.
Yes.
So at least that, no, parang those are legacy works na kahit wala na tayo, parang yun. At institutionalized, no? Because may presidential decree nga na yun, parang kahit kung sino mang administrasyon, matutuloy pa rin yun. But Ogs, bakit ang hirap i-organize ng mga artists? I wanna ask you there. Kasi may Film Development Council, no? And people were saying dapat may Music Development Council din tayo.
Marami din kasi pinagkakaabalahan ng ating mga artists, no? A lot of questions that they would ask, what's in it for me?
That's true.
So, which is
basic. Pero
basic.
you've gone over that. Parang ikaw nga yung taga-silbi pag what's in it for me. Hindi mo na ginawa yung mga ginawa mo, but you're able to transcend that and go over that and help them too.
Well, then again, it's mindset, di ba? So,
that's true.
I have a board that has that mindset with Gary, with Jo Marie, and Christian, and Noel. They rarely think of themselves. So it's we think of our members who need jobs, who need representation, who need legal assistance.
Yes.
Kung minsan pagka kaya pa, halimbawa namatayan, yung mga ganyan, we try to help. So yun. I wish we had more funds, to be honest. I wish we had more funding, but hopefully one day.
Oo nga, Ogs. Pero Ben, parang it doesn't stop you from helping more people in the industry and parang challenging people in our industry also to really organize. Kasi parang hanggat wala tayong nagkakaisang boses, people don't know who to help. Yun yata yung
Tama yun. Tama yan.
No? Kunyari, ayuda, yung social welfare.
Tama. Tatanungin kasi ng gobyerno, sino ba kayo?
That's true.
Sino kayo? So you have to identify yourselves. Who are you? Who are you representing? Yeah, correct.
So Ogs, ikaw hindi ka pa napapagod bilang OPM kasi you had to sacrifice a lot of yourself, no? A lot of your time, even career to help these people.
Yeah. Medyo pagod na rin. We are on our 11th year. So I already told the board that we need younger people. You know, we need younger, energetic, progressive thinking people. And people that know the needs of the younger artists today. Kasi syempre kami, dinosaur na kami. So, you know, and I think we're gonna be moving on next year with elections. Yeah.
Mukha naman. Kasi parang yun, maganda lang that yun nga, parang they're aware also of the situation and then may magsi-step up naman dyan.
Yeah. But I think with everybody getting together with the creative industries, I think magbubunga pa yan. So every organization that is represented will be spoken for and will be recognized.
Pero Ogs, ito na. Parang I've always pictured you to be someone that represents our sector, no? Parang is a national post not appealing to you at all?
No.
Sabi ko nga parang kay Bam kanina, you're someone who can unite people and we need those people looking for a common ground, for a common good. Yun yung gift mo, ha? Yun talaga yung gift mo. Hindi talaga, Ogs.
No, and I think I will be the first to admit that it's a selfish reason. Because I don't want to be away from my family. I don't want to be. Si Nate is only 10 years old.
Tama naman. Pero sabi nila how you manage your family, take care of your family is the way you also eventually would manage the country, no? Or lead the flock, no? And you've been doing well. And if that's enough thing, no, na measure or gauge ng pwede mong gawin, sayang, no? But do you see any any person in our industry trying to be there to lead us? Kasi Ogs, ikaw talaga. Gary, Martin, and all the other people. Ramdam mo naman yun, di ba? Kasi pag ikaw yung humingi, ito po, pag si Ogie yung humingi, pag si Ogie yung nagsabi, mahihiya kaming mag-no. Kasi bihira naman siya na pang sarili. Parang it's for the general good.
Nakikita ko, to be honest, hindi singer si Ding Dong Dantes. Nakikitaan ko siya ng mga katangian, no, of someone who will lead. I don't know if he's into that. Ako kasi, kailangan kasi hilig mo eh. Hindi ko hilig eh.
Totoo.
Hindi ko hilig ang mamuliti ka or basta hindi ko siya hilig.
Hindi talaga. Well, equal.
Okay na ako sa pagtulong, okay na ako doon.
At grabe ngang tumulong kasi tama naman, pareho tayo ng binotong mga presidente, isang nanalo, isang natalo nung huli. Pero yun, parang how important will the next elections be for us?
Oh my goodness. It's going to be very, very crucial, no? That I think all of us get together and
that's true.
And let our vote count. Of course, we always say that, no, this elections is very important, but I think
more so
our country has gone through so much strife, you know, including the pandemic. Talagang kailangan nating bigyan ng pagpapahalaga itong susunod na eleksyon.
At ibang klase kasi yung our common suffering, I guess. Should like bond us together. Parang ngayon, yun yung nararamdaman natin during the pandemic should be the change that we would want, not only from our leaders but from ourselves. No? So, Ogs, to wrap everything up, ano pa yung hopes mo for yourself? Well, coming out of this pandemic and celebrating your birthday during this pandemic.
I really don't have anything for myself, to be honest.
Here you go. That's very Ogie.
I'm just enjoying what I've been doing lately.
Yeah.
I am not as young as I was and as energetic and as gung-ho with everything, but I have the stuff that I've chosen to do, which is run some businesses.
Yes. Pero kumusta, Ogs? With MECQ?
Well, I had a board meeting last night, and our green food tuyo business is thriving. We're doing very well. Our management company, A-Team, even during the pandemic, I thought we would fold up, to be honest, because we were trying to look for work for our artists. But thank God that there are so many platforms, and we're doing all right. So I'm enjoying that.
That's good.
I like the mentoring part of what I'm doing right now. I get to enjoy that so much sa tawag ng tanghalan. Kaya pag ako nag-judge talagang, you know, I won't just make a comment. I'll make it a point that after the show, I talk to the artists and I give them pointers. Kasi I know how that feels.
At yun talagang such commitment kasi yun, no, walang franchise ng ABS, negotiated rate yan, and walang hazard pay.
Right.
Ogie, ibang klase yun, talagang it's such a commitment to do this.
It is.
At lalo na at this point. But well, yun, parang so your dreams really are not, or your wishes are really not yours, no?
No.
Matanda na nga tayo, Ogs.
That's right. I hope ABS-CBN will be granted another franchise. I think that's part of one of my dreams for the company. So who knows?
Naman tayo dyan. Well, part of it is really electing good leaders who will carry that on. No? So yun. Second, for our music community, for our artistic community, what's your wish, or what's your parang main objective eventually?
For me, I really think that it's coming soon, this major breakthrough of Filipino music in the international scene. It's already happening, to be honest. You know, Shanty Dope, his music is being heard on I think on a show. It was used. And then, you know, Ben and Ben with their music.
Yes.
It's just so, I feel so happy and so proud of just so much music being done and introduced to our audience. You know, Noel, just you know, when we started OPM, 2010, 2009, 10, it was even palaisipan pa nga siya na OPM is dead, di ba? Parang, it was something that we were struggling with, and something that parang ang hirap iibenta sa tao.
Totoo yun.
But pockets of movements like the Elements Camp, the songwriting camp, here and there. Ayan, naglabasan ng mga Ben and Ben, ang mga Moira, and SB19 and all of these.
Yeah.
And because of technology, and now everybody's writing music, which is, for me,
that's good.
It's so beautiful to see, and I'm sure like si Mr. C, siya ang isa sa mga talagang pasimuno ng mga yan, no? Ay siguro hindi naman niya alam na ganito ang kahihinat na noon, pero nagtanim lang siya ng nagtanim, di ba?
Parang ikaw rin yan kasi ikaw rin naman nagsabi na dapat national artist si Mr. C, and well, it happened, no? At yung parang lahat ng binibless nyo, parang lahat ng may imprimatur nyo, parang Field of Dreams, it just happens. So parang yun, sana mangyari yun. Sana talaga mangyari yun. Then the last, Ogie, of course, after yourself, the industry, and now the country, is there any other thing that you wish for the country or pray for the country? I know you pray a lot, and you talagang if there's anything, it's divine intervention that we're praying for. What are you praying for our country?
I'm praying for our kids.
That's
when I look at my son, and sometimes my wife and I talk, and sasabihin namin, what's going to happen to them?
That's true.
And the truth is, we don't know.
That's true.
My wife will say, is this it? Is this the end? I still don't know. I don't think so. But my hope is that the younger generation will learn so much from this pandemic.
That's true.
A lot of people will always say, let's just forget this nightmare. Yeah, I guess. But like everything that we go through that is quite tragic, there's bits and pieces that you can, that you can take with you. And I think our children will be stronger. I think our children will be able to cope with many things. Pag tinakausap ko yung nanay ko, sabihin niya, alam mo, buti pa nung gera, at least, oo nga, ang dami kaming binobomba kami, pero magkakasama kami, masasaya kaming magpipinsan, gano'n. Ito, hindi tayo nagkikita. So, this is a lot to take for them. So, I am hoping that itong nangyayaring ito, and ito, role natin ngayon yan, tayong mga magulang, dahil tayong nasa bahay. Kaya siguro wag natin pabayaan yung mga anak natin na hindi matutunan ng mga lessons na kailangan nila matutunan during this time. So, really, I'm thinking of just the future. Yeah.
Galing. Pag kinakausap ka ni Nate, ano yung mga tanong niya about the pandemic na parang ikaw din hinahanap mo yung sagot?
He doesn't really, wala akong
matatapos, may ganun siya?
Hindi naman. Ang kanyang low points lagi is nami-miss niya yung mga pinsan niya. Nami-miss niya na may kalaro siya.
Baka pwede namang gumawa ulit. Sorry.
Wala na. Wala na.
Wala na yung tindahan. Pero yun, parang, kasi pag tinanong ng mga bata, when will this end? How will you answer that, Ogs?
We don't know.
That's true.
We don't know.
And very humbling, no? Then, parang hindi natin alam kasi, well, pagpasa Diyos natin yun. Yun na yung sagot, no? And then, yun, ano yung bisa ng pagiging artista ngayon? Yun, given the pandemic, ano yung bisa ng pagiging Ogie ngayon?
Well, ngayon talagang kailangang isipin mo kung ano ang nilalabas mo.
Totoo yun.
Ang problema kasi, madaming galit, no? Madaming frustrated, maraming malungkot. So, kailangan pag-isipan mo talaga kung ano yung lalabas mo because ang repercussions niya napakalaki, no?
Totoo yan.
So, instead of kami, I think we take a conscious effort. Alam mo, imbis na makisama tayo dyan sa gulo na yan, let's bring out joy. Let's bring out music. Let's bring out the importance of being together during.
That's very Ogie. Bringing people together. Talaga.
No matter how jologs we are, I think consciously that's what we're trying to do here. So it's very important.
And looking for spaces that we can work together and we can agree. Kasi we're just so frustrated na talagang, watak-watak.
Oo hindi lang naman isang grupo lang ang marunong, di ba? I mean,
true, that's true.
So, in the midst of all this, I mean, just mention ivermectin, it's divisive already, you know.
Can I ask you that? Sorry
Sure, yeah.
I am thinking because pareho naman tayong Sinovac, di ba? Yung natutok. And walang booster shot. Parang it's still not forthcoming kasi tama nga, meron pang hindi pa na ano, pero some of our friends are on it.
Marami. We're not.
If it's an extra layer of protection, we understand them.
Sure. Yeah. Respect. Yeah, of course.
So in the end, parang tayo yung looking for the big picture para intindihin yung mga tao and to get people together, no?
Yes.
Oh, it's a responsibility.
It's a huge responsibility. And so, you know, I mean, you just go to Facebook or even on Twitter, di ba? I mean,
that's true.
Bangayan. I mean, guys, anong patutunguhan? Anong ending niyan? Wala rin eh.
Ganda.
So, positivity. And I'm hearing this word, toxic positivity.
Yes.
To be honest, I don't know what that means. I guess yung siguro may namatayan, kaya mo yan. I guess that's toxic positivity. And I subscribe to that. Wag naman ganyan. Parang hindi tama yun. But positivity in a way, hey, how are you? When was the last time you asked the person, how are you? And meant it. Diba?
That's true. And it matters now, no? And it really matters now.
Yeah. Diba? So when you say, I'm okay, you see, I'm okay is really, ang daming ibig sabihin nung I'm okay. I'm okay, but you know what? I'm worried about this and that and this and that and this and that. So I'm okay means a lot of things. So
but when we see you wake up early in the morning, like I think 6 or 7 o'clock in the morning, and say thank you, and then converse with your people, that's your very authentic self, telling people, when asking people how they are, and telling people how you are. Maraming salamat. Kasi parang, maraming salamat talaga. Kasi parang sa mga nakakapanood, parang it's an affirmation that there's reason where you're bringing us back to the why. Bakit ka gumigising at bakit ka nabubuhay.
Wow.
Ako yata yung ang maganda rin doon, si Ogie, kahit ang dami-daming ginagawa, nasa Twitter, nasa Facebook, nasa IG, yan, nagpa-perform. It always goes back, hindi mo man namamalayan kasi hindi naman deliberate yan. Sabi mo nga, hindi mo pinaplano. Pero yung pagbubuo niyan, it goes back to the why that can bring people together. Again, that's your core. Bringing people together for a common good. And that's what I wanted to highlight in this talk. Kasi yun nga, parang if there's anything, we need more of those at this point. Parang people bringing together other people and then looking for that common good, common spaces when we can move on. Thank you, Ogie, and then thank you for your life. And this has been such a good talk.
Thank you, Noel. Parang this is your life. But I appreciate all the encouraging words. Believe you me, I'm not what do you call this? I enjoy what I do. I don't do it because it's an obligation. I do it because I love doing it. So
totoo. And you're about the yung taong malalapitan mo na pag lumapit sa iyo, hindi mo papahindian dahil merong itinanim na kabutihan. Yun yung alam mo, pag si Ogie, parang si Mr. C nagbasbas, hindi ka pwedeng humindi. Yun. Maraming salamat, Ogie. Maraming salamat.
Thank you, Noel.
And then,
God bless you. Thank you for the treat.
Thank you for that Christmas song. And then, we look forward to that. When is it coming out?
End of September.
End of September. Can I ask for a last song? Probably sa kanya. That's one of your pinaka it's really more than yourself now. It's for him up there. Pero tanong ko pa rin talaga, bakit pag praise song nag-i-English ka talaga?
Sorry, ano yun?
Pag praise song talaga nag-i-English ka, mahirap talaga pag taga.
Yeah. Okay. All right, I'll sing this song.
Thank you.
Namulat ako at ngayon'y nag-iisa pagkatapos ng ulan. Bagamat nakalipas na ang mga sandali ay nagmumuni. Kung ako'y nagwagi, pinipilit mang sabihin na ito'y wala sa akin. Ngunit bakit hanggang ngayon nagdurugo pa rin? Sa kanyang babalik sigaw ng damdamin, sa kanyang sasaya bulong ng puso ko. Kung buhay pa ang alaala ng ating nakaraan, ang pagmamahal at panahon alay balik sa kanya. Nag-iisang na lang nang inabasdan ang larawan niya. At ngayon bumalik nang siya'y kapiling ka. Alaala na buong magdama. Kung sakali mang isipin na ito'y wala sa akin, sana'y dinggin ang tinig ko, nag-iisa pa rin. Sa kanya rin babalik sigaw ng damdamin, sa kanya rin sasaya bulong ng puso ko. Kung buhay pa ang alaala ng ating nakaraan, ang pagmamahal at panahon alay pa rin sa kanya. Sa kanya pa rin babalik sigaw ng damdamin, sa kanya pa rin sasaya bulong ng puso ko. Kung buhay pa ang alaala ng ating nakaraan, ang pagmamahal at panahon, ang pagmamahal at panahon, ang pagmamahal at panahon alay pa rin sa kanya, sa kanya.
To the Lord, Ogie Alcasid. Happy birthday, Ogie. And this, we have to note, we lift to the Lord the 17,231 cases of COVID. The highest record single day tally. So parang, yun talaga, parang if that was a praise song, Lord, sa inyo talaga kami kakapit. So,
yes, Lord.
Thank you, Ogie. And then thank you for giving that hope. Nung nakita ko, parang sinabi, oh, you have to mention, and he mentioned that we just lift it up to the Lord. Sabi mo nga, yung sabing verse mo palagi, know that I'm God. What is that again? You always repeat.
Know that I'm be still.
Be still.
Know that I am God.
Thank you and happy birthday, my friend. And thank you for, inspiring us to lift everything all to him, despite all the challenges that we have. Happy birthday and thank you, Ogie. We appreciate you and we value you a lot.
Thank you, Noel. God bless. Thank you very much, everybody.
Thank you. We'll see you again next week. Next week we have Basha already. We're trying to confirm Popoy for our anniversary episode here at Radyo Katipunan. Thank you, Ogie. Thank you, Bam Aquino, and thank you, Karlo Nograles, for explaining what's happening to us now. Yes, the single daily tally, na 7,231 is a record of new COVID cases. Not anything that we should be proud of, but yun, dapat tayong mag-ingat, ingatan ng sarili at ingatan natin yung isa't isa. Maraming salamat. We'll keep on leveling up. Maraming salamat and see you again next week. Thank you very much.
All caps, mga Atenista, it's time to level up! Your top variety program showcasing the best in media and other fields. As we feature the most loved personalities and the best practices of what we truly refer to as Magis. Together with multi-awarded multimedia guru Mr. Noel Ferrer, let's all level up every Fridays from 3 to 6 p.m. here on Radyo Katipunan 87.9 FM. Radyo Katipunan. News, insights, inspiration. Radyo Katipunan. Down from the hill and down to the world. Radyo Katipunan. The voice of the Blue Eagle.